Welcome to John Gamble Stadium in round number 2 of the State 3A playoffs. Drew Fulton here, along with Lamont Littlejohn, Craig Short, and Jeff Johnson. Guys, round 2, how's it feel in the rain?
Feels great.
Feels great, brother. We are excited to be here, and I'm glad that we're able to get this played on turf, and so I think I'm feeling good. How about you guys?
I feel great. We're looking out the window right now. I mean, we can see some mist blowing, but walking in, it didn't feel like it was too heavy. I believe we're going to be all right. It's going to be a good night.
Well, guys, we're getting ready for the kickoff. We've got the Mountaineer pregame show coming up, brought to you by our valued sponsors, HSI Land Clearing and Development, Quality Fence Solutions, and Innovative Pools. Let's take a quick break, honor those sponsors. We'll be back to talk about both teams and what's going on in the conference, what's going on in the state. So stay with us. It's the Mountaineer pregame show here on KMHS Sports. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back after this.
The Mountaineer Football Pregame Show is sponsored by HSI Land Clearing and Development, Quality Fence Solutions, Innovative Pools,
Back here live, John Gamble Stadium, Mountaineers and the Smoky Mountain Mustangs getting ready to lock horns, coming up at 7:30, so don't go anywhere. I want to remind you to make sure you subscribe to our channel. We have grown leaps and bounds this season, and we want to continue to do so. So if you're watching tonight and you haven't subscribed or liked our channel or share it on your Facebook or any other social media, please do so. It helps us out, help you out, and we'll get along a lot better, and you can be part of our kind of broadcast family here, I guess. Maybe that's what we should do with the next Kings Mountain Touchdown Club, give away a night as a broadcaster on the crew. You know, it wouldn't be a playoff game because we got a room. But
yeah, and it can't be worse. I mean, it might be an upgrade.
Right.
So there you go. Let's talk about the Mountaineers last week. We were here, a big 42-6 win over St. Stephen's. But if you just look at the stats, it doesn't look like we did a whole lot.
Yeah.
Only 12 carries rushing, 75 yards, 4 of 7 passing, 61 yards. But if you wasn't with us, they scored a rushing touchdown. They scored a passing touchdown. They scored on a punt return. They scored on a kickoff. They scored on an interception, which does not add up to those totals. So, just looking at it, it looks like we should have gotten beat 42-0. But, I mean, we played a whole game, really, that first quarter. That was the whole game.
Yeah. And what I'm hearing across the state, too, and especially with the team that we play, St. Stephen's, I think it's very classy. We know Coach Lord is not going to try to run the game up or run the score up. And we could have easily put up 80 points last week. But I think that says a lot when you put 42 points in the first quarter and that's the final score that we have. I think that says a lot about our class.
Well, and what we did is we talked about this last week. We capitalized on all 3 levels. I mean, our offense moved the ball well when we had it. We didn't have it often.
Right.
And we had a pick 6. We returned a kickoff and a punt. So all 3 phases we played well. I thought the defense played well too.
Right.
I mean, on the offensive side as well. But I'm saying, like Drew said, it's not surprising we didn't have a lot of stats. I mean, I know I live across the street, but I was at home by 9:15.
Oh yeah, most definitely.
So I mean, that's another reason why the game was over quickly.
We got the win and we got out here healthy.
Yeah, that's the thing.
And also we got some good playing time for some of those second and third stringers.
Right.
And they didn't really score, but they moved the ball on the first string, of St. Stephen's. That'll pay off in dividends down the road.
Yeah, I agree.
I mean, those guys put in hard work at practice as well. Scout team, they should have gotten in last week, and I'm so glad they got in at halftime.
I am too, and it was nice to be able to call all their names out online.
That's
and folks watching, because I know their families are watching too.
And most definitely.
Even went back probably after the fact and watched it. It's good to recognize those young players. And I'll tell you, Kings Mountain's been fortunate over the years. We've had a lot of really good young players that we've been able to use early on in the playoffs. And we talked about that last week with Ed Hopper and Edward Blackburn and among others. And now we're doing it still here. So, it's good experience. We may need these young men down the road. Hopefully we can keep going. Good things.
Well, guys, let's talk about Smoky Mountain. They come in here from the Mountain 7 3A conference. Last week they defeated Central Davidson 41-38. Pretty tight game. 42 yards, 42 carries, 116 yards, but 21 of 31, 376 yards passing, five passing touchdowns.
Mm-hmm.
So they run a spread offense. They want to throw the ball on you. That's what's going to happen in here for the Mustangs tonight.
Yeah, they are. And I was telling Lamont off air, one of the things I've noticed in watching them on film, the quarterback is really talented. He likes to throw it. He throws a good ball. He will also run it. He's athletic. And the thing I noticed, what stood out to me, and as I'm looking down here in the left end zone at their size, I mean, we know they're going to be big. They're from the mountains.
Right.
But I noticed he had a lot of time to throw. He had good pocket presence, but he also had time in the pocket. So I'm hoping tonight that we can mix that up a little bit and not give him enough time to throw or even make a decision, and him maybe make some bad decisions.
And another thing we got to also understand is that the more we win, the more we're number one, the bigger the bull's eyes on our chest.
Yes.
So everyone is coming in here thinking we can knock them off. And so we just got to play Kings Mountain football, stay on schedule, take it to the next level.
Well, let's talk about the quarterback, number 10, Jed West. Pretty efficient passer, 276 yards last week, 5 touchdowns. He did throw 2 interceptions. He's about 68% on his passing, but he's also the team's leading rusher. 17 carries last week, 104 yards. He's an athlete, but to me, their offense runs all through him.
Yeah.
If you can stop him, do you stop their offense?
Well, and also I looked at a little bit last night of some highlights of East Lincoln and Tuscola. Tuscola do the same offense. Their quarterback runs and passes. Everything goes through him. It's interesting to see if, of course, they've never faced a defense like us. It's interesting to see how he holds up against our defense. If our defense is on schedule doing what we're supposed to do, because we've seen the likes of Tater Husky. We have seen the likes of Justin Rockamore. We've seen those athletic quarterbacks that basically have the legs that can beat you. So I'm very interested in seeing how he holds up, Craig, against our defense.
Yeah, I am too. I'm hoping we can get pressure on him like we've been able to do with other folks. Because,
right.
like I said, the first thing that stood out to me when I watched them on film was their play up front. Now, again, I don't know what they faced. I mean, I know I've seen the records, but I don't know what kind of defensive line they faced in other teams.
Right.
But he's had time to stand and throw the ball, and I'm looking down here at him right now warming up. I mean, I'm telling you, this team passes his looks test. For those of you who aren't here, they are a good team, and we know they're very well coached. It is going to be really tough, and that quarterback is legit. I mean, he's not the only player on that team that's good. We know they've got a lot of good players. They wouldn't be where they are if they didn't. But we've got to get to him. I agree with Drew. It's going to run through him.
Oh, yeah.
Well, let's talk about the receivers he'll have tonight. Jay Stillwell, he's six catches, 128 yards. Tander Gentry, one for 20 yards. Demire Williams, 7 for 133 yards. And this was just last week. Sawyer Snyder, 2 for 45 yards, and Matt Brown, 5 for 50 yards. So he's got 5 different targets he just used last week. Yeah. So I'm with you. I believe it's going to come down to our defensive front 4 or front 5 if they can put enough pressure on him to get him to make some mistakes. Otherwise, he's going to hit those guys all night long.
Yeah, I agree, and that's the thing. And you see right there, he distributes the ball, and that distribution, I mean, that's the thing. I mean, it's kind of like it is with us. You try to stop one thing, we're going to hit you with something else. So it's going to be a challenge for us to take out each of those receivers and not allow them to have open looks.
On the year, on the average for the year, Smoky Mountain averages 217 yards passing, 169 yards rushing per game. Their defense this season has 11 interceptions, 12 sacks. They've caused 10 fumbles and 1 blocked punt. So they've got a defense they brought with them out of the mountains too.
Oh, yeah, most definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, listen, this team stood toe-to-toe against the number 2 team in the playoffs in 3A, West Henderson. I think the final score like 16-14. So these kids they're legit.
Guys, let's go ahead and talk. Go ahead and move to my favorite segment right quick. What would Coach Klein do? Craig, I'm going to give you the Mustangs tonight. How do you beat the Mountaineers?
You beat them by doing what you've done, and that's what you tell your men. You're here for a reason. You've beaten good teams. You stood, like Lamont said, you stood toe-to-toe with really good teams. You've proven you can play. You've got talent. You've got a good quarterback. You've got a lot of size. You've got decent speed. So you just don't change anything. Your defense hasn't given up a lot of points in any game you've played. So you've been in every ball game, even the ones you lost. So you've got nothing to lose tonight. You're going to throw everything at them, and we're going to win this game. That's what I'd tell them. And, you can tell by the way they're warming up. They didn't come down here to lose. I mean, they're confident and they're ready, and that's what I'd tell my men and get them ready. I don't even really think you're going to have to get them ready. They look like they're ready to roll.
Lamont, how do you go to round 3?
Well, we stay on schedule. We tell our guys you don't look past anyone. We still run what we run with offense, defense, and we got to win, in all 3 phases of the game. We have done it the last few weeks. We got to continue to stay on schedule. Don't do anything. Don't try to do too much. Don't try to do too little. Just do enough. Survive and get through, but we plan to win. And you got to play with a chip on your shoulder because you still don't have no respect. You still – people thinking that, you'll make a little run and then you get put out. I think you got to have that chip on your shoulder, and what you're trying to do is playing for your brothers, everybody on this team, but you stay on schedule. Let's win 3 phases of the game, eliminate turnovers, and let's survive and get out of here with the win and get to the 3rd round.
Guys, let's take a break real quick. We've got more of the Mountaineer pregame show and a little history segment coming up, so stay with us. It's the Mountaineer pregame show right here on KMHS Sports. Don't go anywhere. Be right back.
The Mountaineer Football Pregame Show is sponsored by HSI Land Clearing and Development, Quality Fence Solutions, Innovative Tools,
back here live, John Gamble Stadium, round 2 of the State 3A playoffs. The Mountaineers getting ready to go head-to-head with the Mustangs all the way from Silva, North Carolina, and Smoky Mountain. I want to remind you, please join the Kings Mountain Touchdown Club. It's very easy to do. Log on to kmtouchdownclub.com. It'll give you all the instructions and the different levels you can join. It's what makes our facility so good tonight. We're playing on turf that was purchased by members of the Kings Mountain Touchdown Club, and I hate to tell you what it would be tonight without this turf in John Gamble Stadium. So that's just one of the things that they've done around here. Make sure you join the club, kmtouchdownclub.com, and we would really appreciate it. All right, guys, let's get to first of all, I want to welcome. Let's welcome all of our Mountaineer fans that are with us. And I know we're going to have some from Smoky Mountain.
Yep.
I know we're going to have some from Shelby, from Burns, from Crest, from South Point. So no matter where you're listening to us tonight, we're glad that you could be a part of the broadcast. I will warn you up front, we are the home team, and you will understand that.
Yeah.
We're pulling for the Mountaineers, but we try to be kind to everybody. So you'll be comfortable listening to us, hopefully.
Yes, sir, I agree. We've got the rosters, and we like to give honor to the young men on the other side. But
most definitely.
We also want our boys to win, as you would if you were broadcasting your team. So.
Most definitely.
Now, guys, we are 0-1 against the Mustangs. The only time we faced them was in 1989.
1-0, right?
I thought we
1-0. 1-0. I'm sorry. Did I say 1-1?
Yeah.
1-0. 1-0. We played them in 1989. We beat them 37-36 in 5 overtimes, and that was under Coach Hicks. Probably the best run in the playoffs that he had. 6-4 is how we ended the regular season. Heavy underdogs going into Smoky Mountain. They were the number 4 team in the state. After regulation, it was a 14-14 tie. Then Smoky Mountain, we went into overtime. Smoky Mountain took the lead 36-30 for the final overtime. They missed the extra point. Ryan Hollifield found Darius Nunu Ross in the end zone. Extra point was good by Daniel Honeycutt, and it sealed the victory. And I'm going to tell you, now this is my memory. You know how memories kind of fail you at times, but this is what I remember. During that 5th overtime, around the 4th or 5th overtime, I remember looking back at the sidelines and seeing Coach Hicks walking the sidelines, holding a cup of coffee and smoking a cigarette. Now, I don't know where he got either two, and maybe that's just my memory.
No, that's probably right.
But
probably
that's
accurate.
what I remember.
That's probably accurate. I also noticed in that picture, I saw that picture this week, like how there's like, I think 4 coaches in that picture.
Right.
And today we've got like coaches and analysts and
right.
I mean, it's crazy how it's changed.
It has changed, yeah.
It's amazing.
How the game has evolved,
oh,
right?
Oh gosh, yes.
Man, I'm telling you.
All right, the picture, I just put it up. That's the picture of the 1998 team. And there's one person in particular I want to draw your attention to. Do you see anybody look familiar?
Well, I see Jabbo on there.
Yep.
I see Hollifield.
Yeah, I see Timmy McClain, Nunu, Derek Williams. I see a whole.
You see anybody that maybe look a little bit closer to you? Let me highlight a little bit better.
Let's go in.
You see anybody now? Now do you see anybody that's on that team?
I got the computer's way away from you. Is that a female manager?
I think it is.
What?
Let me try that.
Okay.
Do you see that? That's me. That is me. 1998.
You were so
89.
Oh,
so you
wow.
were
You was the manager?
No, I was the manager.
Was you the manager or you the water boy? Which one
hurt,
was you?
no, I was the actual manager. I got hurt so many times. My daddy says, "Son, you're going to manage the team, and I'm going to buy you a set of golf clubs." And that's what I did.
I was going to make you feel better. What I was going to say that he was just injured right there.
Right.
And he wasn't able to put his uniform on for the team picture.
Right.
Look at that handsome guy right there.
Him. Look at him, the legend himself.
That's it.
Yeah, that was a
Drew
great team.
Fulton.
A lot of great memories in that team.
Now,
and,
in all seriousness, Drew, how old are you in that picture?
I was a sophomore.
Sophomore.
Yeah.
That's 80, 89?
89. I was a sophomore that year.
Yeah.
Yeah, the reason why I said Waterboy, you remember the movie Waterboy, I didn't know if he had some special H2O
No.
that helped them in that
No.
Up in
5
Silver.
overtime.
I did not.
Well, nobody would
maybe he
remember.
had some Mountain Brew.
I was going to say, you could say you did. Nobody would really remember.
Exactly.
That's awesome. But Drew, it's like you said, I mean, what a great memory. I mean,
oh, yeah.
I can tell you just from coming to work here back in 2007, but people still have talked about that game.
Oh, yeah.
I heard about that game so many times, which is awesome because it's a great memory. It's a great memory in Mountaineer football history. And that team right there was a great, great team. Like I said, I know several of those, but I've known them as men. I knew them after they played, of course. But what a great legacy to leave.
Mm-hmm.
And I also went back and looked against the Mountain 7 Conference. The Mountaineers are 5-5 against Mountain 7 3A teams. The largest deficit, of course, is Pisgah. We are 1-3 against the Pisgah Bears.
Yeah,
Right.
Pisgah's tough.
Yep, they are.
I've always heard you want to try to win their half and half though when you're up here when they're playing Canton. Or they are in Canton when they're playing somebody I can't remember. But anyway, it's like thousands of dollars.
Let's look at the rankings tonight for 3A. The Mountaineers still hold the number 1 spot. Of course, these rankings really don't mean anything now because we got seeded, but I'd like to throw it in there. Mountaineers still 11-0, ranked number 1. South Point actually moves up. Where's my list here? South Point moves up 1 notch to number 2, and then Northern Nash, they're still number 3, 11-0. Havelock moves up 1 spot to number 4. They're 9-2. East Lincoln moves down a spot to number 5. They're 11-0. J.H. Rose moves up 3 spots, 8-3. 71st over in Fayetteville, they move down a spot, 11-0. Crest moves down a spot, 8-3. And then West Henderson moves down a spot, 11-0. And Oak Grove, of course, 11-0, but they were eliminated last night. We'll get to that here in a minute. So that's the rankings. Let's just take a quick break. When we get back, we'll talk about more of the playoffs and what's to come. So stay with us. KMHS Sports right here on YouTube, brought to you by the Kings Mountain Touchdown Club. We'll be right back after this.
The Mountaineer Football Pregame Show is sponsored by HSI Land Clearing and Development, Quality Fence Solutions, Innovative Pools,
Back here at John Gamble Stadium, live with the Mountaineer pregame show. Let's now. I had to alter some of these things. I'll tell you up front because of the games that were last night.
Yeah.
Of course, our game tonight against Smoky Mountain. The other side, the winner of this game will take on the winner of High Brighton and West Charlotte. They are going to play tonight. They did not play last night. I forgot all my stuff here. I turned it too early. Anyway, so they'll play tonight, 6-5. West Charlotte is the home team, but they're playing at East Meck. Is that right?
West Meck.
West Meck?
Is it West Meck or Waddell?
No, it's West Meck
because
they have turf.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, guys, High Brighton at West Charlotte.
I'm going to tell you, I just from what I know from the past, I mean, West Charlotte's probably got some athletes.
Oh, yeah.
High Brighton does too, but I think
Right.
High Brighton's probably going to be better and better coached. I'm going to take High Brighton in that one.
If High Brighton gets up on them, then it's going to be interesting. I know High Brighton is not the team that we always know that High Brighton. It's going to be a coin flip, but I say this: if High Brighton gets up, then it's a High Brighton victory. If High Brighton doesn't come out flat and give these guys some momentum, because I'm not sure how West Charlotte would face adversity.
Lamont, does High Brighton still run a triple option?
They do.
That's what I thought.
Now again, they have a quarterback who can throw it.
Who can throw?
Yeah.
Well, what I was going to say is that you've confirmed that they run it. So,
Right.
I mean, I was going to say,
Right.
I'm just not sure if that's the case, and
Right.
you just confirmed it,
Right.
that West Charlotte can be disciplined enough to stop it because
Right.
they don't see it.
Right. Right.
I mean, they don't – there's
Exactly.
nobody in that whatever conference they play in Charlotte there.
Right,
Nobody
they
runs,
always do
no,
spread.
Yeah, they're not seeing that. So
Right.
that's going to be a tough –
And they do spread all the time.
Yeah, all of them.
So let's look at just what I saw. High Brighton 1-4 on the road this season. High Brighton scores a ton of points, but they give up a ton.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
It's going to be interesting. I think
Yeah.
Stuart Kramer, when I look back at, I think Justin Rockmore threw like 3 interceptions. They converted it in touchdowns. So a lot of things that they did against Kramer last week was really Kramer self-inflicted.
Yeah.
And not to take anything West Charlotte. We know West Charlotte's an excellent team, well-coached team. The whole thing is with discipline coming to
Well,
factor.
I agree with you. And then again, I say what I said about High Brighton beating them, but
Right.
and I have to look at their losses. I mean, West Charlotte does play in a very top-heavy conference.
They do.
I mean, they're playing the likes of Chambers and Huff and those really good 4A teams.
Mallard
there.
Creek.
Creek.
Yeah.
So I mean, that it's tough. So
Yeah.
I mean, maybe they're a little better than we think. The mist
Right.
is rolling in again.
Yeah, it is.
looking at the next game, of course, it was played last night. Ledford beats Northwest Cabarrus 42-28. Of course, everything I wrote about the team was before they actually played. I do know that North Cabarrus was able to score 21 points in the fourth quarter, but it was too little, too late. No chance to come back in that game. And Ledford's a pretty good team. Their only loss was to Oak Grove. They're 4-1 on the road games. They average 45 points a game. So they're going to face East Lincoln, which I hope is going to be a little bit better competition than Tuscola was.
Yeah. I'm not surprised that Ledford won that game. In kind of watching that conference this year, I think that was a pretty strong conference, but I'm kind of surprised Ledford didn't win it. That's what I said last week. They came down here a few years ago and beat us on this field, not this literal field, but you know what I mean. So they're a good team. So that East Lincoln Ledford game next week will be a really good game.
Of course, East Lincoln just about walked away with it. Tuscola only able to put 7 points up on the board, 35-7 over Tuscola. And I think Tuscola, their biggest problem is they're just too one-dimensional. Their passing game just is not where it needs to be.
Yeah, and I listened to that game. I was flipping through and watching and listening to the ones I could get last night online. That game kind of got out of hand. I say out of hand, but East Lincoln got up on them, pretty good to start the game. And so Tuscola was never really in it.
And also, Tuscola got it in the red zone several times. The East Lincoln defense just had them stop. They had a goal line stand on one. I think they was like on the 1 half-yard line or something like that. And East Lincoln just played lights-out defense and stopped them.
Well, let's move over to the other side of the West bracket, which is something we didn't really do last week. You had Crest and going over to Oak Grove, 42-15, Crest victory. I thought Oak Grove would be a little bit give them a little bit more competition than they did. I know Oak Grove. This is, and I had to look it up. This is only the 4th year that they've had a varsity roster.
Yeah, they're not an old school. I mean,
so Tradition moved in and beat them 45-15.
Yeah, and I'm not surprised because they didn't have an answer for that passing game and Green, and once you get Green and Husky going, it's hard to stop. And I think he hit them with a long pass. I think right before either halftime or going into the fourth quarter that kept steamrolling and the snowball effect. So kudos to Crest.
And not to mention their running backs, Aiden Carson and Anton Lewis. I mean, they kind of seemed to come alive last night and put a great ground game together for the Chargers.
Yeah, they did. And I kept checking in on that game and listening to Robbie Root doing the broadcast. He did a good job.
He did.
And
yes, he did.
that Robbie, the things I heard, Crest also capitalized on some things, which is what you're supposed to do.
Right.
But it sounded
some fumbles and things.
Yes, and it sounded to me like Crest just did what they were supposed to do. That sounded to me like last night they were the better team, and we know how good they are.
Exactly.
I mean, like even in our game, they didn't quit. Right. They made that interesting. Had we not converted a third down, Lamont throwing a great pass, that game got to be really, really tight. So. Right. I'm not surprised.
Well, the game that started getting out of hand was South Point traveling up to Dudley. 74-41 was the final, and this is what I saw. South Point was down early, 21-6. Then the rain started, and when the rain started, they had no answer for the red ball. They couldn't stop it whatsoever.
I'm not surprised by that either. I mean, I'm telling you, I went back last year's game, but now I know how good Dudley was. They had 22 seniors, and many of them went to play college ball.
Right.
But that they shut them down last year.
Yeah.
To shut down that offense is unbelievable.
Is.
But I was telling Lamont off air, I kept checking in on that game too, and at one point it was 41-29
going into the fourth quarter.
Yes, and then the next thing I know, it's 68-29. I'm like, my gosh! I mean, not only did they score a ton of points in the fourth quarter.
They did, and we know the type of competition. South Point is. They're never going to quit.
No,
They're well coached.
Yes,
they've learned that offense since 5th grade. and also. They put some passing in last night.
Yes, they did. I was going to say, because
they was passing the ball last night.
What impressed me, I wasn't watching it, of course, but I mean, I was sitting there thinking, if they're scoring, they're either throwing the ball some or they're hitting some big plays, because they're a ground and pound offense most of the time, eating up clock. But to score that many points, that means they were hitting pretty quick.
And it was turnovers from Dudley as well. The first play of the game was a pick six. For South Point, and then also I think there was a botched snap or something like that, and then I think South Point got down there and recovered it.
Yeah,
and they was in Dudley's side on the side of the field in Dudley's territory like all night. They had like short field to go off of some turnovers with Dudley. So, and another thing I want to state is that Dudley has been blowing out teams all year. So really Dudley's only played 2 quarters all year. And basically last night they had to play 4 quarters. But, again, that was what they call a lick-back game, and South Point was going there with they had a determined mind that they was going to Greensboro, and they was going to give everything they had and throw the kitchen sink at them. And, but 74 points, I think that everybody's surprised by that.
Well, 74 points I'll mention, that's more than any team put up against them combined all year.
Exactly. Yeah. But then Dudley put up 41 points. So, you look at you look at defensively, that, it was just like scoring at will. Both offenses have good night. South Point just had a better night, and I think they capitalized off of Dudley's turnover.
Let me ask you this: I know you're not supposed to look forward to past any game, but do you think the idea of Crest getting another shot at South Point or South Point getting another shot at Crest played into it at all?
For both teams?
For both teams.
Yeah.
But I think the coaches did a good job for them not looking ahead.
Yeah, of course.
They took care of business last night. And now that's going to be a dandy. That's going to be a game in Belmont next week. Yeah. And you got to understand this is like a lit back game for Crest. But it's going to be a dandy over there. It's a tough place to play in Belmont. Man. It's a tough place to play.
But boys, I mean, Crest played well against us.
Most definitely.
And they, it's kind of like what we did last year. I mean, we peaked and did really well once we got into playoffs after that Crest game.
Right.
We kind of came together and played really well, and that's what I see Crest doing now.
Yeah.
To me, that game next week is a tough one to call. I mean, we'll make a call on it next week, but I'm with you, Lamont. That would be a good one to watch. I mean, because South Point has a mission. They felt like they should have gone past Dudley last year and been in the state championship.
Right.
Crest is on. Crest is trying to do to them what South Point did to Crest last year.
Right.
In this playoff match. So yeah, it's going to be a tough one. But I am not shocked whatsoever that there are still people from the big teams from the Big South.
You just read my mind.
I'm not.
How about our conference?
Yeah, I'm not.
I mean, Big South is a tough conference, and one of the toughest conferences, I think, in all of 3A. What about the 3A conference? Kudos to the teams in our conference.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, let's look at the other game. Last night we had number 7 Irwin up against number 23 East Guilford. Of course, Eastern Guilford wins 62-40. They're the number 23 seed on the West, and they are the highest seeded team still in the playoffs right now.
Yeah, and
they're 9-4.
They are, and they play up around like with talking to Coop, my son. He helped, as I told you guys, at Western Alamance, and Cooper was telling me about them a little bit this year. I mean, he said they are a good team, but that he feels like that, they might not be the best one left, but here's the deal. It doesn't matter in the playoffs because I'm telling you, they've proven right there they can keep winning.
Right.
Now, they're going to get the winner. Drew, I'm looking over your shoulder. They're going to get the winner of the Wests, either West Henderson or West Rowan. And I'll tell you, West Rowan, you guys will remember back in the mid to late 90s, early 2000s, they were solid for so many years.
And I think they put Burns out.
They did. They did. And that –
when Burns had that real good team with Coach Bean.
Yeah, they're going up to West Henderson tonight. That's going to be an interesting game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree.
So the winner of that will take on number 23 Eastern Guilford and then set up another third round for that side of the bracket. Let's take a break. When we come back, we'll talk more on the Mountaineer pregame show, so don't go anywhere. It's KMHS Sports. We'll be back after this.
The Mountaineer Football Pregame Show is sponsored by HSI Land Clearing and Development, Quality Fence Solutions, Innovative Pools,
Back here live, John Gamble Stadium. Drew Fulton, Jeff Johnson, Lamont Littlejohn, Craig Short with you as we get ready for the kickoff. About 26 minutes or so. It's misting still a little bit. The field, and I'm going to get Jeff to really give us a good have you been on the field yet, Jeff? He's trying to get his mic turned on.
All right, it's on.
Have you been on the field?
I have been down on the field. The field is drained really well. Of course, we know the quality of the field, but water's still going to be a factor tonight. There's still a moisture to it. I think as the second half goes on, if the winds pick up and continue, I think it'll dry out. But right now, it's kind of misting down there. And I tell you, fellas, wind's going to be a factor.
Yeah,
it's pretty strong tonight down there.
We kind of covered it in the bracket earlier, but the two other Big South games last night, South Point over Dudley 74-21, and then Crest over Oak Grove 42-15. And I would have never thought 42-15. I thought Oak Grove would have made it more of a game for the Chargers.
And not to take anything away from teams, but that's telling you, again, the strength of our conference. And I think when we play South Point Crest, who's left, we've been battle tested. Even the teams like Ashbrook who bowed out the first round. Listen, they was hanging in that first
what
half.
About Stuart Kramer game?
Yeah, they was hanging in there.
Yeah.
I mean, they've been battle tested. I think the other teams just had more of a wheel and they pulled it out last week. But kudos to our conference, man, the strength of our conference. And we know the top three teams we have been battling all year long, and we've been battle tested. So
I agree.
You know,
and I agree with that statement tremendously. I think it's a very, very good observation. And I was saying last night, we were talking on texting each other. I still have a little bit of an issue though with some way that some of the rankings are, because I don't believe. I mean, I know Oak Grove had an undefeated record or whatever, they won their conference, but I mean they struggled with a West Meck team last week that was the second place 3A team in their conference means they finished 5th in their conference in a tough conference. But then they were able to. I mean, they won. But I'm really not surprised. Crest, ran the table on them because I thought going into the game, Crest was better. I just thought they were a better team.
And Craig, whenever I saw that they struggled with West Met, I said, if they don't have nothing to shut down Crest's passing attack, it's going to be game over.
Yeah.
And it was. I mean, Crest started a little slow, but again, just like Crest, they're a second half team.
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest with you. In my opinion, strictly Craig's opinion, I still think Ledford is the best team in that conference.
Right.
I think if Crest is playing Ledford last night, I still think Crest is better.
Right.
But I think that would have been a better game.
And it's crazy because Oak Grove beat Ledford.
I know.
That's what's crazy.
I know.
But you never know. They may have had a bad game. I didn't get to watch that game, and it doesn't. And who was that? And it may be a rival. When it comes to rival, it don't care. It doesn't matter about your record.
No, you're right.
And I lost my graphic. Let's see if I can go back and get it. Y'all talk amongst yourself.
Most definitely.
Well, going back to what we were saying about the brackets too, Lamont. I mean, that's what's crazy. Like we just talked about an Eastern Guilford team that was, I think they're 9-4. So here they are getting hot right at the right time.
Right.
And so that's what you look for.
Oh yeah.
And Kings Mountain's made some runs like that.
Yeah.
I remember the year. In 15 when we lost in the semifinals, and we go when we beat Freedom in the second round.
Right.
I mean, we won some games, and we get to the semifinals. Played on the worst football field I've ever seen in the history of my life, the wettest field, sloppiest field.
Right.
But nobody thought that we'd get that far, and then there we were.
Yeah, but when you start peaking like the end of mid-October. That's when you want to start peaking and playing your best ball going into November and hopefully getting to December.
Yeah.
All right, let's talk about another game that was kind of closer to us. Shelby loses to Burns 42-0. Now, I felt like Burns would win. I really did. I felt like they had the team to beat Shelby, but I never saw a running clock at George Blanton Stadium.
Nobody saw that.
No.
Nobody saw that.
I'm going to tell you something. I thought exactly what you just said, Drew. I thought that Burns probably was better. I thought that Shelby could hang in it.
Mm-hmm.
I watched that game with anticipation of it being better. Shelby they couldn't get out of their own way, unfortunately. Right. And Burns did what they were supposed to. They scored.
Yep.
They scored quick, and then they did 2 onside kicks.
Yeah, they did.
I mean, man, I'm telling you, that takes a lot of trust in your team.
And even going into that game, I had a coin toss because you just played this team 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
And who comes now with the bigger chip?
Yeah.
And I just know playoff Shelby.
Yeah.
We all know playoff Shelby.
Yeah.
But I don't think nobody saw that coming. A running clock
not
against
to
Shelby.
that. No, not to that.
Shelby's just that program where everybody's striving to be like. But you never saw that coming.
No,
but kudos to Burns.
Yeah, of course. I mean, and I'm gonna tell you, I'll tell you 2 things. It's probably been forever and a day since Shelby's lost to all 3 county teams, and now they lost to Burns twice.
Right.
But I'll say this, but you talk about a lick-back tour. That's what Burns remembers being knocked out by Shelby in the playoffs.
Over and over and
They've
over
got
again.
Salisbury
especially
next
last
week.
4 years.
Yeah, of course. Salisbury next week, who beat them a couple years ago on a last-second field goal.
Actually, last year.
Was it last year?
Yeah,
okay,
I think it was 10-9. I think
10-7.
10-7. Yep,
so
yep.
Burns is focused, and we saw that team out there on this field.
Oh yeah,
we know how good they are.
They are.
Yeah.
And don't let 27-0 fool you. That Burns is a good team.
They're legit. Yeah. Yes, they're legit.
Yeah.
Well, let me ask you this: how much? I know Burns was a better team. Burns played the better game. How much did the weather come into that game?
I don't think it came in because both of them are passing teams.
Yeah.
Both of them are passing, and both can run. I was very impressed with the quarterback, Dalen Lee. I was very impressed with him running the ball last 2 weeks. He has been turned into this dual threat quarterback. And he did. And really, Dalen put the team on his back and tried his best to wheel them over. So, and that's the type of leadership he has. But I don't think it played into anything because neither one of them are heavy run teams. Both of them are more geared for the pass.
Here's what I think happened. This is my opinion. I think early on, Burns did to Shelby what we did to Crest.
Right.
Is they scored early,
right.
and then they got that kickoff where they recovered that sort of pooch kick.
Right.
Scored.
Right.
got the ball back, scored, pooch kick, got the ball. Suddenly it was 28-0.
Yeah.
And Shelby, you could tell Shelby's bread and butter is throwing the ball.
Yeah.
Yep.
And,
it is.
And Burns, honestly, ran better than I thought they were going to.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, most
And
definitely.
Shelby did not. And they were on the field the whole half. Their defense
And
was.
Jeff, as we was watching that game last night, don't forget when it was 14-0, I think. I'm not Burns, but Shelby drove the ball all the way down to their red zone, and they did not. They could have keep the field goal, but I agree with Coach Wilbanks is that
They need
3
touchdown.
points. Yeah, you needed 7 points, so that was a good call there. But again, with them stopping Shelby in the red zone, I think that was another
Yeah, and to Drew's point a moment ago, too, about the weather, I don't know that it factored in too much, but I will say that when you're trying to play catch up and hurry up and get back in the game, and the elements aren't great, I'm sure it did have somewhat of an effect once Shelby got behind. But I'm going to tell you, I wish Dalen Lee great success. He's a great young man from what I hear.
Most definitely.
I know he and others are going to go on from that program and play in college. But I am not sad to see him go. I mean,
he's a stud, bro.
Yeah, he is. He is legit. I mean, and I know Coach Wilbanks hates to see him go, but you said it, Lamont. That's a strong program. They're going to be back. I mean,
And you got several of those linemen that's going. I mean, they had a great senior class.
Yeah, they did.
And a lot of those guys, because I'm in Shelby and pastor there, I know a lot of them grew up with them. My son grew up with them, and so they're just like brothers. So just a heck of a senior class there. T.J. Griffin.
Yeah.
You have also the Tyler Boris and several on the line. But I'm telling you, that's a great group, and I hate it. Bittersweet. I hate to see them.
Me too.
That was their last game, and I hate that they put them there in the second round.
That they had to play in the second round. Yeah, and I
hate that.
And I was going to say what Drew said. I mean, let's give Burns credit. I mean,
Oh, yeah.
Burns
Most
Burns
definitely.
has been locked in all season.
Burns is that team.
They are.
This is their year.
I'm pulling for them.
Yeah.
I really am, and I'd love to see them do something and keep winning. And get through and get to the championship. It'd be great.
Most definitely. And they have the squad to do it.
They do. And
I don't think Reedsville has what it takes to knock off a Burns.
No, and I tell you what, Chase is having to go all the way up there next week, so that's a long ride from Sandy Mush.
Reedsville better not overlook Chase. I'm telling you that right now.
I agree.
Well, let's talk about that. They beat last night Robinson 35-14. Chase might be the best Chase team.
Yeah.
I mean, they have a lot of the players that came from East Rutherford or Central, so they're not exactly the same team they used to be, but
it's been building.
The best program.
The last couple of seasons has been building.
I only wish that this year they would have played
Shelby. I do too.
They would have got the monkey off their back. They would have won the game.
I think they wanted that too.
They probably wanted it.
They wanted that too. Yeah.
But I'm gonna tell you, we go through Reedsville to go up to see my daughter and up in Lynchburg. Hey Molly. Hey Lowry. Love you and Matt. But we go through there, and I was thinking how long it takes us to get to Reedsville from here. And I'm thinking where Sandy Mush is and how far they got to drive. It's going to be a hike next week for them. But I'm with you. The Trojans can call some things, but
they can.
Cooper again. They play Reedsville, and he told me Reedsville there's Reedsville and there's Rockingham County High School.
Yep.
Reedsville it's open enrollment, so that's why they get the kids they do. So kind of like what you said with Chase.
Gotcha.
They've pulled kids from all over Rockingham County.
Just like Rutherford County.
Yep. So it ought to be a good game.
Yep.
Well, we've talked about High Brighton and West Charlotte. We'll try to keep up with that game on our scoreboard tonight. Then we also talked about East Lincoln, the win over Tuscola.
Yeah, East Lincoln's defense is legit, fellas.
Yeah.
They're tough.
Monroe 55, Lincolnton 7.
Not surprising.
Last night.
No, not surprising. We've seen Monroe, and we know how good they are. So I'm not surprised at all.
Right, I agree. Not surprised at all.
I hate it because I got ties to Lincolnton, but they're more. I about said Morsel. Monroe is legit.
Yeah, and we saw them in the jamboree, and Monroe is legit. And again, it may just come down. I'm wondering is Burns with Burns? Yeah, Burns would see Monroe in the 4th round, and Reedsville if they can make it to the semifinals. So it may be.
Are they on opposite sides of the bracket?
No,
I'm not seeing the 2A
they're
bracket.
the same, I think.
So the winner of Chase Reedsville plays the winner of.
Is Monroe number 2?
Monroe is.
So 2 and 3 because Burns is number 3.
They're 3.
So 2 and 3 they will play the 4th round.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying because Burns has got Salisbury. Who's Monroe got this week?
Good
I can't
question.
remember. But yes,
Sure.
Reedsville's in the top part because they were number 1.
Right.
So they're coming from there. So you'd get. So
and I'm not sure who the number 4 seed in
I don't
that is.
remember.
No,
I don't remember.
But again, I think Burns have a tougher road, Salisbury than possibly Monroe, before they get to Reedsville.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
Another game that didn't get played last night, 2A, Maiden stays home to play Mount Pleasant.
I don't know a lot about Mount Pleasant other than they're from the Concord area.
Right.
And I know how well Maiden has done this year, so I'm going to say Maiden's going to keep rolling.
And I think Mount Pleasant is a heavy run team.
Yeah.
But I got to go with Maiden.
And then we talked about West Rowan and West Henderson. We'll try to keep track of that game tonight, see how that one goes.
That's going to be a toss-up.
And the other one was somewhere else we also talked about, Ledford 42, Northwest Cabarrus 28. See, this would have made a whole lot more sense if none of these games would have happened last night, and I didn't have to go back to this. Let's take a break. We'll be back with more of the Mountaineer pregame show right after this.
The Mountaineer Football Pregame Show is sponsored by HSI Land Clearing and Development, Quality Fence Solutions, Innovative Tools,
Back here at John Gamble Stadium, Drew Fulton, Jeff Johnson, Craig Short, Lamont Littlejohn, in no particular order. We're here tonight to bring you the Mountaineers and the Mustangs of Smoky Mountain. Up there, really in the 3A at least. I don't know about the 4A. I should have looked.
Now we're gonna
really
have
the last mountain team in the 3A.
Yeah, but in 4A we're gonna have a dandy up there. It's AC Reynolds and Chambers.
Is it up there?
Yeah, Chambers had to go from Confounds in Mecklenburg, travel up the mountain to Asheville to AC Reynolds. That's going to be a good game, y'all.
I agree.
That's going to be, and of course I don't think Ace. I think they lost to Raven Gap. I think that's the only loss, but I know they probably ain't see the speed, the talent of a Chambers, but they are solid, and so
Chambers is already up 9-0.
Oh, okay.
Doesn't mean anything.
It don't mean nothing.
I just happened to get on the Max Preps and look at the score.
They already up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that is a Farm Bureau 133 West Caldwell Becker just
Scoreboard.
pregame scoreboard.
Yes, we got those.
So they must have started at 7.
Yeah, they did because they said there it is. I'll tell you another one I just saw right here. They'll be interesting, boys. Butler and Mooresville.
Oh yeah, it will be.
The Blue Devils are 10-1 and Butler is 9-2.
Yeah.
That's going to be a good one.
And Mitchell and Drone, I see that. That's going
How
to be.
How about Drone being 10-1?
Is Drone?
They're 1A.
They're 1A.
Yeah, they're in the 1A conference, 1A bracket. Yeah.
So that and whoever come out of the West, you got to play Tarboro. You know, Tarboro gonna come out of the East.
Yeah.
Well, let's look at Smoky Mountain. Just looking at their conference, the Mountain 7. They came into the playoffs with 4 losses, but those 4 losses at TC Robinson, 21-12. They came home, lost to Robbinsville, 28-27. They lost to West Henderson, 23-21, and then they lost to Tuscola 17-16. So I mean, just a few points, in every loss that they had.
Right.
And that's what I said earlier. They don't give up a lot of points, and they've not been blown out. I mean, that's the thing. This it's going to be tough, man. I mean, this is a good team. You guys that are sitting at home watching this, don't look at that record right there and be fooled by it. We are facing a really good team because like I just said, they don't give up a lot of points. Sometimes they've not scored a lot themselves, but they're explosive, and what we don't want to do is give them any life.
Right, exactly.
Let me review some scores from last week. Chase Pounds, North Wilkes, 75-15. AC Reynolds over A.L. Brown, 55-14. You don't see A.L. Brown getting 55 points scored on them that often.
Right.
No. Community School of Davison beats East Gaston 20-14. Bessemer City loses a heartbreaker to Mountain Island Charter 16-14. I heard some people talking about that game, and they were pulling so hard for the Yellow Jackets, just could not get it done. Crest over Statesville last week, 33-7. Maiden over Polk County, 68-33. Tuscola beat Forest View, 35-14. Andrews Downs Highland Tech, 77-8. Henderson, I just want to know, did they give them the 8 points?
Probably.
Hendersonville over West Lincoln 36-29. Burns beat Moorhead 62-13. West Charlotte drops Stuart Kramer 40-13. South Point over Hickory 48-13. That one, I thought Hickory would have put up a few more points than they did in that game. East Lincoln over Ashe County 51-6. Shelby Downs Forest Hills 30-13. Lincoln kept it going over Randleman 37-36. And Cherryville loses. Go ahead and get ready for basketball season. They lose to Robbinsville 40-14. The band's going to play the Alma Mater and the national anthem in the stands. So let's listen to that.
Let us pause for a moment of silence to give thanks to God for the abundant blessings He has lavished on each of our communities.
Our most gracious, loving Heavenly Father, we thank you for today and the privilege to gather together in the spirit of competition. Lord, we ask that you bless the coaches and the players as they take to the field, the fans, the band, and the cheerleaders as they support these athletes, and may good sportsmanship prevail. For in Christ's name, and everybody says, Amen.
Ladies and gentlemen, with pride, our national anthem.
Back here at John Gamble Stadium, getting ready for the kickoff tonight of tonight's ball game. Just about 5 minutes or so before we get ready to kick off. Let's take a break. We'll be back here and get ready for the kickoff. Don't go anywhere. It's the Mountaineer pregame show, KMHS Sports, right after this.
The Mountaineer Football Pregame Show is sponsored by HSI Land Clearing and Development, Quality Fence Solutions, Innovative Pools, Stay tuned for the kickoff here on Mountaineer Football Live with Drew Fulton, Lamont Littlejohn, Craig Short, and Jeff Johnson. Brought to you by KMHS Sports and the Kings Mountain Touchdown Club.
back here at John Gamble Stadium and getting ready for the kickoff of tonight's ball game. So glad that you could be with us. As you've seen during the national anthem and the flag, you know, the camera crew, they're under a tent over there trying not to get drenched in water from time to time. So we'll keep an eye on that as the game goes on. They're down with the coin toss. Jeff, we're going to turn it over to you. You can get a little close, and we'll get the coin toss right here.
That sounds good. While we're waiting for it, Mountaineer fans, you need to get off the couch and get here. The misty rain stopped. Get here and come to fill in the stands.
Number 15, A.J. Richardson.
And it actually is not cold.
No, it's not. It's humid.
Your officials for tonight's game, the referee, Mr. Rich Curtis, the umpire, Mr. Terry Cody, the head linesman, Mr. Brett Carlton, the line judge, Mr. Charlie Wilson, the back judge, Mr. Jerry Torrance, and the bookkeeper, Mr. Roger Pereira.
Heads, tails. Call it loud enough for him to hear it. Tails. He said tails. It is heads. Understand you want to defer, correct? These guys won. They're going to defer. You guys are going to get the football. You guys will kick away.
Well, guys, I don't think you could have heard it any better. We win the toss and we defer. Jeff, thank you so very much.
Thank you, Jeff.
So we'll get ready to kick off to open up the game. Reasoning, give me your reasoning that the coaches wanted to defer to the second half.
I think we want to see what they've got offensively, if you want my honest opinion. I also think that I think starting the second half with the ball always is better, because you can see what you can try to get something quick at the end of the first half and get one at the end.
Tonight's officials?
Tonight's officials, referee Rick Curtis, umpire Terry Cody, head linesman Brent Carlton, line judge Charlie Wisnett, back judge Jared Torrance. We've had him before. Our clock operator is Roger Price. We've also had him. So we've got a good crew tonight. Excited to have them. And notice we didn't take the bus around because it's too wet. So we're over at the Mountaineer man getting ready to come on. Give a shout out real quick to Coach Grayson and Mike at home watching. Thank you for being there with us. Actually, you might be at the beach knowing y'all. Thanks for being with us.
Yeah, we want to thank everybody that's watching for us tonight. Go ahead and tell us where you're watching from. We'll look later and see where everybody's watching Mountaineer football from. And here comes your Mountaineers.
Mountaineers of Kings Mountain.
Mountaineers come on the field. I will tell you that the band, I talked to Andy earlier. He said that they're going to try to play as much as possible. If it doesn't rain anymore, I believe they can stay out tonight. They're not going to march. They weren't on the field earlier, but they're here to support the Mountaineers just like we are. And I'll remind everybody what Jeff said. We haven't even kicked off yet, so you got plenty of time. If you're here in the Kings Mountain area, come down to the game. Not raining right now. Great for football. Bring you a little towel just to wipe off your seat, and you'll be good to go.
Oh, yeah.
For the Mountaineers set to kick it off, number 34, Jaden Ellis. Deep for Smoky Mountain, Lamar Williams.
Give a big shout out to Shane Short watching the broadcast.
Hey,
Coach Short. What's up, Coach Short?
We were able to talk about y'all all year, man.
That's
Brother.
right,
Good
man.
to have you.
Absolutely proud of you, Coach
Talked
Short.
about the Yellow Jackets all year.
That's right. How you changing the culture over there, brother. Keep doing it.
I saw your message, too, that you introduced yourself to your fiance. Glad you got to meet her after such a long time.
Hey, the life of a coach.
That's right. Heard she's a pretty nice lady. Of course, if she chose you, we may need to talk to her. Welcome, brother.
Winning the kickoff from Jaden Ellis.
He's got the wind with him. Let's see what we can do.
He's got the wind with him. It'll end up in Shelby. Ball's up. He's kicking it deep and goes through the end zone. It'll start out 1st and 10 from the 20-yard line. Smoky Mountain will take over.
20-yard line.
All right, boys. Let's see what we got.
See what we got.
Gonna get a dose of 10 is what I'm thinking.
I agree.
Open it up in a horse set. 2 receivers on each side. Single back.
Probably going to try to get out of here quick.
They got Curtis inside. Got good pressure. Lipscomb was right there, and so was Melton. He had time to throw, but it was
Fellas,
real
what
quick.
I'm going to tell you is the wind. The wind affected that right off the bat.
Did it? How does it feel down there, Jeff? Is it pretty strong?
It's definitely strong. For the viewers from the right to our left, from the south to north, it's pretty strong.
Same formation.
So 2nd and 10 for West and the Mustangs. Man in motion. Quick handoff right up the middle. Some running room. He's still on his feet across the 35 up to the 40-yard line. Fortner on the carry, so that's a first down.
Yeah, they got us on a blitz right there, which is a good call by them, and they got past us.
1st and 10 for Smoky Mountain.
Good run.
From the 40-yard line.
Luke Fortner. Great run by Luke. What I was saying earlier, that we've got coach is playing Curtis down as a defensive tackle, not an end tonight. So they've got Curry on the outside, 33.
Actually, Curtis is not in there. He's on side.
Oh, you're right. That's Antonio. Sorry.
Yep.
Under pressure, West finds his receiver and throws it out of bounds.
So I
Second
think that's our answer there. You see how AJ was on him. I think Curtis tweaked his ankle, so I think he's going to be limited tonight just if we need him.
Oh, I'm sure he's wanting to get in. He's right there behind Coach. I'm sure he's right. he's chomping.
2nd and 10 for Smoky Mountain.
Now they're running a tight end on this side. Hand off.
Right up the middle, about a 5-yard gain.
Fortner on the carry. Stopped by number 7, Jason Melton.
A little slow to get up off the turf.
Official timeout.
Jeff, how's the atmosphere on the field tonight?
So far, seems to be so good. We'll see. I think giving them the first down took a little bit of life out of us, though.
3rd down and 3 for the Mustangs.
We need to stop here.
Oh, they got it.
West tries to pull us off sides. Let's see if they forced him.
Yep.
Offside against the Mountaineers.
So first down.
First down.
Another first down play for Smoky Mountain.
1st and 10 from the Mountaineer 48-yard line.
So 3 receivers set. West gets the signals from the sidelines. Drops back to pass once again. Good protection. In and out of his hands, no good. 2nd down.
Intended receiver, Kamari Williams. On the coverage, Jake Lloyd and Bryson Brown.
There we go.
All right, good.
I saw right there we ran a twist inside, so we got a little bit of more pressure on him. That's good. We just got to make sure when we're moving, we're not going, we're not crossing that line of scrimmage. Moving inside is going to help some.
Yeah.
It also messes up their blocking schemes.
It does. You just got to watch that ISO. They've had too much yards.
Yeah.
On both runs.
Coming to get him.
Mountaineers giving pressure.
Nash.
Good job by Nash.
Number 1, Jay Stillwell. On the coverage, Zay Smith.
Yeah, you've noticed so far he's getting the ball out of his hands quick.
Yeah.
He is.
A designed rollout. Obviously, they should be concerned about our pass rush.
Yeah.
Their quarterback, number 10, Jed West, he junior, 6'2", 180 pounds. He's a big one.
And he looks the part. He's a good athlete.
just can't give up no big play here. We got to get them off the field.
Tight end over to the top of the
Wiz
screen.
calls the signal. He's going to call his own number, and the Mountaineers are there waiting on him. Bring him down behind the line of scrimmage, so they're going to lose about 3 yards.
That's a great play by the defense. Sorry, Drew, I didn't mean to talk over you. That's a great play by the defense on our left side where he's trying to go. It closed immediately.
Hey,
Most definitely.
Question, guys, for you. Do you think if they had picked up 5 yards, they might have gone for
I do.
4 down?
I do, because it's no man's land.
I wondered why the design run.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I do, Jeff. No man's land right there. So.
Number 4, Sutton into punt for Smoky Mountain. Good snap.
Oh, it's
and it's blocked by the Mountaineers.
Pick it up and go. There you
They're
go.
going to pick it up around to the 20.
That Jake.
Yeah, Jake. AJ got the block. Jake got the scoop. All right, here we go.
Let's go. Need to
The
score quick.
Mountaineers will start 1st and 10, their first offensive possession, and very good field position right there at the 20-yard line.
That's
1st and 10.
Yeah, AJ came right through there, and the up back didn't try to even get him. He got through, and then it went right to Jake. Great play. Good heads-up play.
Right.
That's a combination that's really worked all year long when they're able to get to that punt. Is AJ gets the block, and then Lloyd gets the scoop. Straight up the middle, Mountaineers give it to number 3, Caleb Holland.
Guys, do we know how many of their players go both ways? I'm seeing a number of guys that were on offense out there on defense. I didn't know.
I think you have more than we have, of course, but their roster is not as they don't have as many people we do. So I think they may have maybe 5 to 6 that's going both ways.
Okay, thanks.
Hand off to the
Inside.
left side, waiting his turn. He
in.
breaks free.
Yeah, touchdown.
He's going to go to
He's
the
in.
end zone. That's Caleb Holland, touchdown.
There we go. Set up by the block punt. That a baby.
Did you see his patience?
Yes, I did. That's what I said.
Wow.
That's what I said from up here, Jeff. It was inside, and then it closed, and then he got
had that
right back
stopped.
outside. That's a great run by him.
So Mountaineers put 6 on the board. So deferring to the second half so far was a brilliant plan, Coach.
Most definitely.
Into attempt a point after touchdown, number 34, Jaden Ellis.
Ellis will attempt the extra
Number
point.
10, Bryson Brown.
Good snap. No, it was behind him.
The kick is up.
Good play by Bryson.
Yep.
The kick is good.
And the Mountaineers will lead 7-0 here in the first quarter. We'll take a break. We'll be back for more Mountaineer football. Stay with us right after this.
The Mountaineer football broadcast is sponsored by Brinkley Financial Group, Flooring America, Dr. Brad Moffitt and Carolina Chiropractic, Butler's Outdoor Design, The Venue at Turkey Ridge,
Mountaineers lead 7-0 here early in the first quarter. 9 minutes and 8 seconds left to go here in the first quarter. So Jaden Ellis will get his second opportunity to tee up the ball and kick it deep.
For the Mountaineers. Deep for the Mustangs, number 5, Damari Williams.
See if Ellis gets the green light to kick it deep. We know he can put it just about anywhere on the field he wants to put it.
Right.
And he does. High kick way back to the end zone, out of the end zone.
Almost.
Touchback, first
Out
and
of the
10.
end zone.
First
Good
and
kick.
10
For the Mustangs.
for the Mustangs. Thank you so very much for tuning in to us tonight. Still plenty of time. If you're in the Kings Mountain area, come on down to the game. We need you in the stands cheering on these Mountaineers. This is one of the first times that I can remember that I believe the visitor side outnumbers our home side. West calls the signals, hands it right up the middle. He'll take it over, get a few yards on the carry. Fortner on the carry. Curry on the stop for the Mountaineers.
A gain of 3, 2nd down and 7 for the Mustangs.
I've seen that they're having success with their little ISO trap play.
Yeah.
I'm sure we'll make the necessary adjustments. Their linemen are making good blocks.
West draws back, looks for a receiver, finds one wide open, but overthrown him. Maybe two steps too long.
Yeah, he's not having the time that he's accustomed to.
No,
so he's having to get rid of it quickly.
The pocket. Yeah, I'm sorry, Lamont. The
good.
pocket closed around him right there pretty quickly. So if we can continue to establish that and close on him,
right,
we're gonna have a give him a hard time all night.
Right.
That's what we're hoping for.
Yeah, and I think that's why he's been so inaccurate, because he's having to get away from it, get that ball out of his hands quick.
Yeah.
West goes with an empty backfield, 4 or 5 receiver set.
That's
he
draw.
drops back, and he's just going to draw right up the middle. He's got a first down and a few more.
I know you don't think I'm crazy, but I was just about to say quarterback run right before he ran that play. I thought, that's what I saw on film they like to do. So, but he's one of their, if not their best offensive players.
He is. I think we adjust and put a spy on him, because that's what he's going to do. When it's probably 6 or 7 yards to pick up, he's gonna drop back, and if they see man, he's going.
Mustangs will stay with the same formation, bring a man in motion. That's Stillwell. Quick throw out to the flats, no good, overthrown.
That's a Kings Mountain Mountaineer play right there.
Yes, sir.
That's what we like to run. I did notice that was number 5, Damari Williams. I noticed on the film that I watched, they like to throw to him quite a bit.
Yeah, I think that's his number 1 target.
Yeah. Drew, is that what you saw in the?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, in the stats. I see down here on your sheet. Going empty again.
Stillwell trying to find a receiver. Doesn't find one. He holds on to the ball.
Ja Carey. Wow. Did you see that hit?
Yes, I did. I felt it too up here.
Oh, my God.
You know what I liked about it too is it was a smart hit.
It was.
He
It
used
was
his
not.
body.
It was not dirty.
No.
He didn't lead with his head.
Nope.
But I'm telling you, what's going to happen? This quarterback probably hadn't had hits like this. He's going to start getting happy feet.
Yeah.
And that's what happens. See how he responds.
Yeah. He'll look to run it some, and like I said, in this formation, it's empty because they're still going 5 wide under screen.
Quick throw right out to the flats.
Screen, nothing. Got about 4.
Right.
Should be 4th and probably 11. Great play by the defense.
And y'all, we're doing this without one of our studs. Curtis Simpson. That lets you know the depth on that defensive line. Great coaching ability by Wilson and Coach Kennedy. I mean, we keep reloading, Craig.
I agree with you. And what I'm thinking is if they don't have to use him tonight, I mean, he could probably go.
He can.
But if we don't have to use him, let's not. Next week.
We want him fully healthy.
You darn right. We want all of our cats ready for another round if we can win.
That's right.
Good snap.
So the punt is off this time.
I thought he looked like he stepped out
Crossing
of bounds.
the 30. He's going to climb up, trying to get to the 40-yard line. They're going to push him out of bounds.
Yeah, he turned something into
it. Good job for Fat.
Number 13.
So the Mountaineers will take over 1st and 10.
Take over 1st and 10 from their own 38-yard line.
38-yard line is where the ball is.
6:31 remaining in the first quarter. Mountaineers lead 7-0.
Try to check on the Farm Bureau 133 West Caldwell Banker just-in-time scoreboard here in just a little bit. Quick pass out, just a little low.
Little John's pass, incomplete. The intended receiver, Zay Smith. 2nd and 10.
2nd and 10.
Well, if that ball is slippery. Came out a little weird.
like I said, I think the wind is also affecting him.
Yeah.
So if he's throwing that ball to our sideline, it's going to knock it down.
Got you.
Drew, was it Forest View we had the wind issue?
Yes.
Yes.
That was the hurricane game.
Exactly.
Coming in.
Full backfield, quick whistles. They'll blow it dead.
Flag down on the field.
Procedure. No, all right. He got offsides.
Offsides against Kings Mountain.
Yeah, we lined up. I'm going to be honest, I've never understood how you end up offsides on offense when you let the official put you on, but
Right.
I think sometimes they look at the official, then they go ahead and step up again.
Right.
So 2nd and 15.
But normally they look at the official and give him a thumbs up.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, that play got called in a little late, and we were rushing at the end of the play clock too.
Fakes the handoff. Little John looks way down the field. Overthrown.
Pass incomplete. Intended for Zay Smith. 3rd down.
Zay Smith was the intended target. 3rd and 15. I got to give it to Coach Lloyd trying to take his shot early.
Yeah. Just overthrown. I'm not sure. Been 2 bad passes there, so I'm not sure if it's conditions or we're just off tonight.
I thought that one there looked like it was a pretty good ball. He just got too much under it.
Right.
He outthrew his receiver.
Right.
Obviously.
Mountaineers come to the line, 4 receiver set. Quick whistles before the play started.
Delay of game against the Mountaineers. 5-yard penalty.
And delay of game against Kings Mountain.
Coach Fortner's not happy about something.
Right.
3rd and 20.
We're going to call timeout.
Yeah, good timeout. Settles down. So.
Timeout, Mountaineers.
So they'll call the timeout. So
Mountain.
we'll be back here. More Mountaineer football. Don't go anywhere right after this.
The Mountaineer football broadcast is sponsored by Brinkley Financial Group, Flooring America, Dr. Brad Moffitt and Carolina Chiropractic, Butler's Outdoor Design, The Venue at Turkey Ridge,
Back here at John Gamble Stadium, Drew Fulton, Lamont Littlejohn, Craig Short, Jeff Johnson with you. Just checking real quickly the Farm Bureau 133 West, Caldwell Banker, Just-in-Time Plumbing scoreboard.
Well, the one we're most interested in, West Charlotte's up 21-6 over High Brighton. West Henderson, West Rowan, 6-3 West Henderson. Going down through, looking at some. Drawn and Mitchell, no score. Let's see the play.
Little John back to pass right over the middle. Les Brown. He's going to get caught right at the sticks. Maybe a half a yard
about
short,
a half a yard
depending
short.
on where they spot it.
Malachi McNeely.
Yeah, we're going for it.
Bunker Hill and Community School of Davidson, no score.
Jumbo, going jumbo.
AC Reynolds up 14-9 over Chambers.
Wow.
And that's the update.
Right up the middle, and that's enough for a first down and then
That's
some.
enough for a Mountaineer.
1st and 10 Kings Mountain. They kind of dug themselves out of that hole there. Third and 20. It is not easy to come back from.
Correct. We've been known when we get deep, we always have a big play. I don't like us being deep in the hole, but we always manage to get out of it.
We do, and I'll tell you something, as the other side, that's demoralizing when you've got them pinned deep and then they convert a big one on you. It hurts.
Right.
Little John hands the ball off right on the left side. Plenty of running room. That's 11.
Teddy.
Still on his feet. He'll get 12 yards on the carry.
Another Mountaineer.
Guys, going back to that third down throw, I think, honestly, in my opinion, that's one of Lamont's favorite throws. He throws that in route great.
Yeah, that slant, yeah.
I'd like to say that's his bread and butter.
Yeah.
You can say it. You just did.
Okay. That's his bread and butter.
There you go.
Little John hands the ball off, trying to get some room on the left side. Misses 1, 2 tackles. He pulls him down after a short gain.
I don't know what it is, but it seems like at every play I'm hearing like a whistle. You know, we heard that the other week.
Yeah, we did one a couple weeks ago. I'm
I'll
sorry.
listen for it. I'll see if it's in the crowd.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Lamont. I just watched Alex Jackson throw a guy into the turf like he was trying to throw him through the turf.
Right.
Whew.
Did it work?
No, I think he got up.
I was enjoying Teddy's stiff arm on number 5.
Yeah.
Teddy's hard to bring down the first time. Little John, quick pass.
Wasn't there.
Nope.
Great play by the corner.
Great play.
Tanner, is it Jarrety or Garrity? He made a great play right there. Stayed right with our receiver.
Right, that was a great play by the corner.
Brings up another third down play.
Quay seemed to be indicating that the guy was holding him.
It looked like he might have been on him, but I'm going to be honest. It was so quick. I don't know that it would cover. It looked like pretty good coverage.
Little John once again rolls to his right. Tries to find his receiver. Good coverage again. Incomplete.
You know, it's easy to say that from up here, but if he throws that ball outside, we complete it.
Yep.
Throwing it right at him, the defender had a better play on it.
And here again, this is where if you guys could feel what I'm feeling.
Yeah.
It's got to be 15-mile-an-hour wind.
Yep.
And it's going to push it towards the goal, towards
we're
the
punting
end
the ball.
line.
We're punting the ball.
Max Thompson will run in and punt it and try to keep them deep.
Unless we run a fake.
That's what I was thinking.
Have we run a fake this
We
year?
haven't. We haven't, but we have one. Or 2 or 3.
And they're not sure how to cover it.
Told you.
Yep.
And he's going to be short.
Didn't get it.
Run to the short side of the field, so we didn't get it. Turn the ball over on downs. 1st and 10, Smoky Mountain.
Mustangs take over. 1st and 10.
Missed it by that much.
How close was it? A couple yards?
No.
I think it's about 4.
No, yeah.
Defense come out and try to stop them again. West, the quarterback. 3 receiver, tight end set.
Tight end over.
West once again calls his own number. He goes right up the middle, and that's what he does the best, 10-yard gain. He'll be close to a first down.
Number 7, Jason Melton.
Oh, he's got it.
1st down.
1st and 10 Mustangs.
Smoky Mountain.
And I believe that's what we were talking about at pregame. The offense runs through West.
Right, he does. That is working. That little ISO trap has worked too.
Mountaineers giving pressure. He tries to find the deep ball. He's got a man
caught it.
covered, and he caught it.
That's a good ball.
It's a good ball.
I didn't think that ball was ever going to come
down
down.
to the 10-yard line.
Number 5.
That thing hung up there forever.
Number 10, Bryson Brown.
So 1st and goal from the 10.
1st and goal from the 10-yard line for
That's what I just said, Jay.
Jay heard you.
Oh, okay.
Somebody's got to come out. Or somebody's coming in. Get off the field. There we go.
Defense needs to bow up here.
Oh, yeah.
Jay once again calls his own number, but he gets hit at the line of scrimmage and
Hit
goes
by
nowhere.
AJ.
Good play by AJ.
By A.J. Richardson. Second and goal from the 13.
Second and 13. West once again makes a quick throw. And out of his hands, almost intercepted.
Oh, that was Dre.
Almost had it, baby.
Almost.
Well, it went in and out of the hands of the receiver, then went in and out of the hands of our.
Right. I mean, that's the conditions, y'all.
Yeah.
I know that ball is wet, but it was a little high.
Yeah.
And went through it. And
I believe he was thinking 6.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think it got on him pretty quickly too. I don't think he thought he'd see it that fast.
So 3rd and goal from the 13. West once again looking to pass right over the middle. Intercepted by the Mountaineers across the 10, 15, 20.
Good job.
He'll get run out of bounds, so the Mountaineers hold them off and take over possession.
Jake Lloyd.
Yeah, and he was looking for 5, boys.
Right.
That's what he was looking. That's his target.
Right. And that was a good read by Jake because he watched 5 all. I mean, he didn't look Jake off or anything. So it's a great play by Jake.
So that's West's 8th interception of the season. And that's probably, I don't have it in front of me, 3 or 4 for Jake Lloyd.
Yeah.
In the first quarter, Mountaineers lead it 7-0.
Well, he had 2 last week. Wasn't it last week?
Yes, one was a pick 6.
Mountaineers come out, 3 receivers set, hand the ball off right up the middle. Not a lot of running room, but he makes the best out of it. Right over, still on his feet across the 40.
Wow, big run.
Great run by Caleb.
So big Mountaineer first down for Caleb Holland. Just when they thought they had him pinned up, there he comes.
Ball placed at the 44-yard line.
Coach Lloyd may surprise me, but I have a feeling we're going to go run heavy here.
I think that's what he wants to try to establish anyway, Jeff. I agree with you.
Hand the ball off once again. Across the 45.
Caleb Holland on the carry.
Holland once again.
Number 78, Weston Winchester.
On the carry. Gain of about 2.
Second and 8.
Hand the ball off to Teddy Jeffries. Misses 1, 2 tackles. Still on his feet. Cross the 40, 35, 30. Still on his feet.
Good job.
Across the 20-yard line. Big first down for Mountaineers.
Great run.
Guys, you have a better view than I did on the field. How did he get through there?
He just kept dancing.
Kept going.
He did what he always does, Jeff. He waited until something opened, and then he broke a few tackles. Right. What I was about to say is that safety was playing so deep.
Yep.
I mean, that was one guy away from a touchdown, but he was really deep right there.
One of our loyal fans said that there was a East Lincoln fan down there recording the game for, I guess, later on.
Now, I heard that there's some folks from East Lincoln here scouting.
Around the left side, Jeffries once again across the 10, almost down to the 5.
Hey, we know East Lincoln's good, but they got a tough one coming to Denver next week.
I was going to say
Asia Bird.
We'll send them the huddle and we are fortunate to play them.
Yeah.
And that's enough for another Mountaineer. First and goal.
I tell you, Caleb will see on film right there. That was back in inside a little bit more behind Spikes. He tried to run on Spikes' right side, back in behind him. I think he had a little more yards, but still pretty good run. Teddy's in.
Second and goal from the 4-yard line.
Going nasty.
Mountaineers hand over the left side, trying to get to the end zone. He's going to be close. He might be down to the 1.
He tried to run straight through Mabry Bumgarner, number 52, and almost did it.
Inside the 1 yard line, 3rd and goal for the Mountaineers, but that is the
end of the
final
first quarter.
play of the first quarter with your score. Kings Mountain 7, Smoky Mountain nothing.
So the end of the quarter, we'll take a break. We'll be right back right after this. Stay with us. Back here at John Gamble Stadium, Mountaineers up 7-0, but on the move again. That's the end of the first quarter. We'll go to the second quarter. Guys, analyze a little bit what we saw in the first quarter.
Well, I think we're moving the ball well. We've established a run, and Lamont's thrown some good balls. So I think we're pleased where we are, and our defense has played well when they needed to. Lamont, what do you think?
Yeah, with weather conditions like this, it's let's throw when we have to throw, but let's ground and pound.
Yep.
Second quarter begins.
Mountaineers right up the middle.
He's in. AJ.
Waiting for the
He's
sign.
waiting. I don't know why it took so long. He's laying on the letters. I mean, what are you looking at?
Well, in defense of the guy that's the near sideline judge, you couldn't see.
Well, I was talking about the guy on the upside,
Yeah,
Jeff.
agreed.
Yeah, he was on the letters.
Jaden Ellis.
All right, let's get a better snap this time, young man.
Touchdown out of the hole of Bryson Brown.
Ball is up.
That's better.
And it is good. Mountaineers lead 14-0. We'll take a break. We'll be right back. More Mountaineer football after this. Stay with us.
The Mountaineer football broadcast is sponsored by Dellinger's Jewel Shop, King Construction, Patriot Jacks Outfitters, Campers Inn RV of Kings Mountain, JWH Contracting, Allen & Sons Construction.
Back here at John Gamble Stadium, round number 2 of the state 3A playoffs. Some of the fans in the stands getting some free T-shirts thrown to them by Dave Reed and the cheerleaders. Brought to you by Lickety Lou's Sauce, one of Craig's favorites.
Yeah, yes, sir. I like me some Lickety Lou's. I keep waiting on Lickety Lou's to put us some food up here in the press box. I mean,
yeah, that ain't happening.
Well, we can always ask. We've asked,
Or down on the field.
Oh, no, you don't need any. The boys will be eating.
If we had scored 1 or 2 plays earlier, we could have kicked off with the win.
Yes, sir.
Right. We'll see if we're kicking deep.
No, Pooching in the wind.
So they'll get a chance to return it across right here at the 35-yard line, 1st and 10. This is where the Mustangs will take over.
1st and 10 for Smoky Mountain.
See, we have made some adjustments to stop that draw. Again, the quarterback has had some good runs, but see what we'll do on this drive here, in this series.
Well, Kings Mountain's done an excellent job this season making adjustments.
Oh, yeah, most definitely.
West calls the signals. He drops back. He's going to throw. He's kind of running for his life. Makes a throw incomplete.
And once again, he gets hit.
His intended receiver slipped.
He fell.
Kind of his break about 5 yards downfield, and he had no one to throw it to.
I'm gonna be honest with you, Jeff. I don't know that he had completed anyway. Right. I saw the same thing, but it wasn't there.
Oh yeah, no.
I think that was a design rollout, but we were down the line well with him. It didn't help. So great play by our front 7.
What's that run?
Yep.
West hands it off. Number 24 around the left side, finds it around to the 40-yard line.
Like Drew said a little earlier, they've had some success on that little ISO.
Yeah.
Well, he's 24s. He's big and strong.
Yeah.
He's good size.
Well, that was more off tackle on that one.
So a big 6-yard run brings up a 3rd down play here. They're trying to draw us off sides.
Almost got us.
Because they know we're coming. He's looking for a receiver, finds one.
I got it.
And, yeah, they're going to give him the 1st down.
On the reception,
Number 5.
I'll have to hand it to the receiver. He knew exactly where the 1st down marker was and went right to it.
Mountain, 1st down.
I think probably later on we may do a bump coverage on that, especially because we know he's going to that, especially short yardage.
Yeah.
Thank you there, Mr. Nance, for listening to the broadcast.
Yes, love Mr.
West
Nance.
back to throw. Looking under pressure. He had an open receiver, intercepted by the Mountaineers.
No. Easy block. Easy block.
30. Still on his feet.
I'm glad they didn't throw that flag.
Ooh, I am too, because
you don't do that.
We don't do that because
they own him now.
I think.
Come on, Trey. You don't do that.
I think what saved us right there is that he kind of slid between us and the defender.
Yeah.
If he'd have blocked him, that'd have been a penalty.
He had to understand he can't do no blind side like that.
What a catch.
Yeah.
Fingertip interception.
It was overthrown, really.
Yeah.
Our player was the only person that could have caught it.
Right.
Yeah.
But he's getting coached up.
He has. Coach Bell about jumped onto the field.
Yeah, I mean, all of them came.
Yeah.
He's getting coached up. He didn't know not to do that again.
Back in the day, that was legal, but not now.
Not now. You can really get a player seriously hurt.
Yeah, you can. You can. I agree.
Inside handoff, right in the middle, still on his feet. He gets hit hard around the 35-yard line.
Isaiah just absolutely annihilated.
Isaiah's a man. You hear me?
Pancake.
Oh, yeah.
And he's been picking up offers galore.
55 just got, oh, man.
Yeah.
Isaiah's son, young man.
Yeah.
I love watching him play.
Yeah.
You're right, Lamont. He had 3 or 4 more this week.
Dalton has been picking up some offers as well.
Yeah, good for them.
Oh, yeah.
So Little John 3-receiver set. Hands the ball off to Holland around the left side. He's got some running room across the 40, 50, 45, 40. They're going to bring him out of bounds around the 35-yard line.
Great lead block on the seal the edge by Jake.
Yeah, it was.
On the stop, Malachi McNeely.
McNeely on the stop for the Mustangs. 1st and 10, 47-yard line. Lots of crews up here, not to mention us. KTC is doing radio behind us, and a Silva radio station over on the far left in the press box. Crowded house tonight here. Hand the ball off left side. That's Holland once again. And
that's Teddy.
That's Teddy.
Teddy Jeffries across up to the 30-yard line.
Stopped by number 78, Weston Winchester.
If we're able to continue to clip off, 4, 5, 6 yards a run, it's going to be a good night because
agreed.
We're also eating up the clock.
Exactly.
But it goes back to what we said all season, man. It's being set up by our guys up front. They're playing really well.
And just about all those guys have offers to play college football.
Right.
Good patience.
Waiting this time. Great patience across the 25.
Inside the 25, and it's enough for another Mountaineer.
And that's a 1st down, Kings Mountain.
On the stop, number 7, Jesse Jones.
Got any young people watching it play and run the ball. That was what you saw with Teddy right there, young guys, and even girls. That had his hand on the lineman's back, waited his turn, got in that hole, made a positive play.
3-receiver set. Jeffries in the backfield. Hands the ball off the left side. He's following his lead blocker, waits his time, and makes really something out of nothing.
This guy on our side is going to call us. I think he's going to say we didn't have enough on the line of scrimmage, but we need to talk up top. Yeah, the guy on this side is going to say we didn't have enough, but at least they're communicating.
Right.
Coach Cruz is saying it was legal.
Yeah, it was. We had enough men on. That's why I said it. We ought to wave it off. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
Hey, I give them credit. They asked because,
Right.
I mean, on this guy's side, to his point, he can't see up top.
Right.
But we did have enough men on line of scrimmage. So,
2nd down and 7 for the Mountaineers.
for those who don't know that, you can't have more than 5 in the backfield. Give the officials credit for talking to one another. Good job. That was like a Terry Prince move right there.
So bunch formation for Kings Mountain, man in motion.
Oh, we fumbled.
Yep. Little John able to fall back on it, so we'll lose a little bit on that play.
I love that play when it works.
Right.
I think the ball probably
And it's worked before,
It has.
just not that time.
I think it just slipped out of Lamont's hand
Just
probably.
these conditions, man.
Yeah.
But you got to play with what we got to play with.
Well, the good thing is the other team has to play the same.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. It's
For
football.
the Mountaineers.
Going empty. Oh, it was there. He just overthrew him.
Pass incomplete.
Well, like I said, I think the throw was good. The wind just knocked it down.
4th down.
Is it blowing that hard out there, Jeff?
It still is. It's not as strong as it was 20 minutes ago,
Gotcha.
but it gusts every little bit. And I think that ball just kind of
Right.
died in the air.
That's also why we're not going for a field goal right here.
Right.
This would be inside Jaden's range, but I'm telling you, he'd be kicking right into that headwind.
It's like I said, it's gusting. That's what's making it difficult, I think.
3 receiver set. Little John, quick back to throw. 3-step drop.
There he is.
There he is.
He's got him wide open. Touchdown, Kings Mountain.
They lost Caleb.
The wheel route.
That's Caleb. Jay said say. Yeah, the wheel, they lost him. They didn't pick him up.
Right.
So Mountaineers put 6 more on the board.
Caleb Holland on the touchdown reception in to attempt the point after touchdown. Jaden Ellis out of the hole of Bryson Brown.
Ellis kick is up,
The kick
and it is
up,
good.
the kick
Mountaineers will tag on the extra point, 21-0. Mountaineers lead. We'll take a break. We'll be right back right after this.
The Mountaineer football broadcast is sponsored by Brinkley Financial Group, Flooring America, Dr. Brad Moffitt and Carolina Chiropractic, Butler's Outdoor Design, The Venue at Turkey Ridge,
Back here at John Gamble Stadium, Mountaineers put 7 more on the board, 21-0. Mountaineers lead Smoky Mountain.
Drew, you want to do some score updates?
Go ahead and do some score updates.
All right. The Farm Bureau 133 West, just-in-time plumbing, Coldwell Banker scoreboard updates. We've got, I'm going to do some local scores as well, or some teams are sort of local. West Charlotte 28-7 over High Brighton. Chambers 16, AC Reynolds 14. West Henderson 19 to West Rowan 7. 7-0 drawn over Mitchell. Mooresville's leading Butler 7-6. Huff 3-0 over Mallard Creek. And that's Maiden and Mount Pleasant are scoreless.
Smoky Mountain will get the opportunity to return again across the 30, 35, 40, and they'll run him out of bounds before he can do any more damage. Pretty good return by the Mustangs.
Damari Williams on the return.
And I think that's what they wanted to keep it from, number 5. I think he's pretty much electric, the athlete.
They're going to say he stepped out of bounds around the 42-yard line. So 1st and 10, Smoky Mountain.
1st and 10 from the 42-yard line of the Mustangs.
I think our guys was following the referee with the ball.
Yeah. I think they were watching that he's went out of bounds up
Exactly.
there near the 50.
West back to throw. He's under pressure, and now he's on the run, giving chase. Tries to find just to throw it away, and flag on the play.
I wasn't watching from there, but the only thing I can think about is they're going to call. They're probably going to call it pass interference, but maybe holding. I wasn't watching.
If anything, it was holding.
Yeah.
So here's what happened. One kind of came across on a slant.
Yeah.
And then did like he was going deep, and Zay
grabbed
made
him.
contact. Yeah.
Yeah.
And he didn't throw it till
well,
actually threw the ball.
Yeah, and that's what I was going to say. With when he threw it, I figured it was holding from back there because Zay was not really near the receiver, close like he would have committed interference. It's all right. Here we go. Reset.
So new set of downs.
Even on that play right there, man, we got good pressure on him. He rolled out to his right again, and our guys were there.
But I am impressed with their offensive line able to slow us up as much as they have.
Yeah.
And he'll get eaten in the backfield. West dropped for a big loss. He'll lose about 7 yards. I just mentioned, they're giving him good protection.
Yeah.
And,
that
I was
pocket
wrong.
collapsed. Well, I think, and I could be wrong, but just from what I'm remembering so far, when he's had the most success throwing, he's moved.
Yep.
They've shifted the pocket. When he tried to step up and stay in the pocket, we've gotten to him. So that might be an adjustment they're going to try to make.
Number one just ran the same exact route and slipped.
Hand the ball off,
There
and
we
he's
go.
going to get eat up in the backfield for a loss. He's going to lose about 3 more.
Yeah.
Do want to give a shout out to the law dogs at Gardner Webb. They're watching Officer Phillips, Officer Friedel,
all right.
our brothers, our friends
Appreciate
at Gardner Webb. They're watching, and
I was supposed to give you a message from Mako earlier. Something about
the juju juice.
He had a whole batch of juju juice.
But they didn't come to school today, so.
Hey, is that legal?
And,
is that stuff legal?
Something about it smoking, or if it's hot or something, I don't know.
He talks about that all the time.
The juju juice, baby.
We got a flag up top.
Flag on the
They're
play.
probably going to call legal man downfield,
Right.
but because they tried to run a screen right there.
Right.
Unless he's going to, that's what I would think from that official on that side.
Not roughing the passer.
No, because it was thrown by the side judge.
They're going to wave
Wave
it
it
off.
off. I was going to say they probably were thinking illegal man downfield, but it was a screen. They tried a screen to I think it was number 44 maybe, and it did what, and we blew it up.
Matt Brown in to punt.
So they'll have to punt. That's Brown punting.
Did he say Mac Brown?
I believe he did.
What numbers he wearing? I'll tell you what it is.
Mac Brown. That's Carolina's coach.
He's pulling double duty.
Lamont, I want to tell you, I'm glad those guys are watching.
Matt Brown, number 4.
Matt Brown. Okay.
Matt Brown.
Matt.
I got my graduate degree from the Webb.
Yes, sir. No place like the Webb.
Ball is up. Kind of a short punt. It's going to be fielded by Fad around the 30-yard line. He's trying to find some running room across the 35. So the Mountaineers will set up shop around the 37-yard line. First and 10.
Sawyer Snyder, enough for the Mountaineers to start off first and 10.
Make sure you stick around at halftime. A few weeks ago I did an interview with the legendary Steve Baker, and it was my fault. I hit a wrong button and cut off about the last quarter of that video, and we're going to air it in its entirety tonight. So make sure, and I'm going to make sure I don't hit that button again, make sure you stick with us at halftime for the interview with Steve Baker in its entirety. Mountaineers hanging off the left side. They find misses 1, 2, 3 tackles. They're going to bring him down around the 45-yard line. That's Teddy Jeffries.
I'm telling you, Isaiah is making 55 work.
I was just about to say the same thing. Isaiah just threw that young man to the 40.
And he said, "Coach, take me out. I need a water break.
The legend. Greg Shull is in the press box.
In the house.
The legendary Greg Shull.
Mrs. calls he's been making.
Man, me too. I love that velvety voice when he gets fired up on the calls.
And the ball off left side. Mountaineers continue to run and cross the 50. Get to the 45.
No.
40.
No. Come on. That's not a hold.
No. I know that's what he threw it for.
Yeah.
That is not a hold.
That's not a hold.
That is not.
Is that Dalton? That's not a hold. That was a good block.
That's not good. That's not a good call.
No.
That's not it.
Well, when the running back rounded the corner, he needed to let go of him.
But even still, there,
I know.
Jeff, I'd
He's
say
inside.
He's driving
he was definitely inside.
I know.
That was not a hold. I knew that's what he was.
I'm just telling you what he saw.
I know.
So 10-yard spot foul.
Jeff is the peacemaker. Way to go, Jeff. You have a closer view.
I knew he's got to let him go. That running back is right. He's got to let him go.
So we'll bring up a 2nd and 5.
After the mark off of the penalty, it's 2nd and 5 for the Mountaineers.
.457 and counting left to go in this first half. Mountaineers hand off to Holland over on the left side. He's going to be brought down.
Or is that
No,
like
not,
horse?
not from the front of the side. They only call horse collar from the back.
So that was the side? Okay.
It looked like to me they had him right here on the collar
Okay,
from
Yeah,
the
he did.
side.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
the right shoulder.
Gotcha.
So he's going to lose a yard.
3rd and 6 for the Mountaineers.
Coach Lloyd is still chewing on that line judge about that holding call.
I think he needs to. It wasn't holding.
Fakes the handoff. Little John looks to throw. Great pass and catch across the 40.
Play.
He's gone.
And he's gone.
He's gone.
They're two
5,
guys.
5, 10, touchdown.
They took
Mountaineers.
themselves out.
What a great throw.
Yeah. 6 and 11 actually took their own selves out.
Yes, sir.
That looked like the same throw he made at Crest on that third
Right.
down.
Yeah.
Right. And good job that Quay stayed on his feet, went all the way down. That's great.
Mountaineers add 6 to the total, 27-0 here in the first half.
Ellis in to attempt the
Ellis,
touchdown.
48 of 52 coming into this game tonight. Adds another one to it. He's above 90%. Mountaineers lead 28-0. We'll take a break. We'll be right back. More Mountaineer football right after this.
The Mountaineer football broadcast is sponsored by Dellinger's Jewel Shop, King Construction, Patriot Jacks Outfitters, Campers Inn RV of Kings Mountain, JWH Contracting, Allen & Sons Construction,
Back here live, John Gamble Stadium. Mountaineers lead 28-0 here in the first half. It's been raining the last 2 days, but it's not dry out here now, but it's not raining.
Right.
No, it's dry down here now.
Good thing about the turf as well.
Listen, you need to leave your couch, drive down to John Gamble Stadium, and come see the second half.
Get you a hot dog.
That's right. The grill's been going all
Ellis
night.
set to kick it off. William Stevens.
You might even get in discounted.
Right.
Ellis kicks it deep this time. Catch it around the 11-yard line, trying to find some running room. The Mountaineers will eat him up around the 12.
He started dancing.
Damari Williams on
That's
the
Hobby.
return. Stopped by number 33, Jabari Curry.
Thank you so very much, no matter where you're watching or listening to us from tonight. We'll check in to see where everybody's sitting and watching the Mountaineers play tonight. Might have some folks around the Shelby, Burns area, Crest, South Point, East Lincoln.
Oh, yeah. Want to give a shout-out to my mom and dad. I know they're at home. They're watching. And so
First and 10
I want to
from
give
the
a shout-out to my
19-yard
mom and
line of the
dad.
Mustangs.
I do too, because your mom and dad raised a wonderful man sitting right here behind
I
me.
appreciate you, brother.
My mom's my brother.
My brother from another mother.
Dang
right?
right.
West keeps it himself. I think it was kind of a botched
I was
play.
going to say
It
the same
was.
thing.
I don't
Drew.
think that was the intention, but he makes something out of nothing.
On the carry, number 10, Jed Webb.
Looked like he turned around to hand the ball off, but it was too late. His back was gone.
Jabari Curry on the stop.
He'll pick up 4 on the carry.
Second down
Just got a text from a man, Adam Sellers, probably watching. I thought he might be in a tree stand somewhere hunting. Appreciate you being with us, Adam.
Mustangs switch tight ends. Handoff once again to the left side.
They had 5 in the backfield right there.
Yeah.
On the carry, number 5, Damari Williams.
Yeah,
On the stop,
he's a
number
special
15,
player.
AJ
I can see why his quarterback goes to him often. You can tell that he's a special player.
Well, you know what it is, too. I'm sure he trusts
3rd
him.
and 3
Oh, yeah, most definitely.
for the Mustangs.
3rd and 3 right there at the 26-yard line.
And we get the ball at the start of the second half, correct?
Now you
That
know
is
why.
correct.
Yep. That's why we deferred.
Exactly.
Big 3rd down play here. A stop's what we need for the Mountaineers. West hands it off again. And he breaks free. And he's giving chase.
Big hit by Bryson Brown.
Damari Williams.
Good somersault.
Number 5 he's electric with the ball.
He is.
He's a great athlete. That probably explains why he already has an offer from App as a junior.
Most definitely. And also, if you notice, they took him off of the wide receiver and put the ball in his hand.
1st and 10.
He's in the backfield
Ball
now.
marked at the 47-yard line.
1st and 10. Smoky Mountain in their 2-minute formation. Quick whistles, looks like timeout.
Timeout, Mountaineers.
Kings Mountain, they'll take their 2nd timeout. So will we. We'll be back here, more Mountaineer football right after this.
The Mountaineer football broadcast is sponsored by Brinkley Financial Group, Flooring America, Dr. Brad Moffitt and Carolina Chiropractic, Butler's Outdoor Design, The Venue at Turkey Ridge,
You know, guys, one thing I missed tonight, of course, with the rain, they didn't do it, but this whole season, the band has had that bass guitar down there that sounds so great.
Sounds
And
good.
we don't have it tonight.
Yeah, he's not going to bring it out in this type of weather.
Well, I'm going to tell you, whoever the young man is, we really enjoyed that this season.
Oh, man.
It's been great.
Maybe we can just add like a 5-piece band. I could get a band out here.
I know when we was in the first game of the season, and I heard it, I'm like, where's that coming from?
Yeah.
And then the second game, I said, it has to be us.
It's got to
right?
be, yeah. It adds a lot.
Oh, it's nice.
2:07 remaining in the 2nd quarter.
So 1st and 10, just
Get
about
back,
2
get
minutes
back.
and some change,
Get
and
back.
quick whistles.
Flag down on the field.
Yeah.
They
on
threw the
us.
play. It's on us.
Antonio, I saw that. He's got to get back.
So offsides on the Mountaineers bring up 1st and 5.
5-yard penalty offsides against the Mountaineers. 1st and 5.
Yeah, get back. There you go.
Mountaineers pulling pressure, and they
I'm
got him
telling you,
again.
AJ. I'm telling you, boys, he has no time in the pocket.
AJ Richardson.
Yeah, 3.
Yeah. I think that's 3.
Maybe 4.
And I guess he says, I don't have my other brother with me out here.
That's right, I
Curtis,
gotta
so
step up. That's
I got to get some for
Yeah,
Curtis as
yeah.
well. And I know Curtis is killing himself over there on the sideline. He's right there with the coach.
I told you he stood right behind him all night.
Like,
Let me in, coach.
He ain't going in.
Let me in.
You're not going in. He's been hobbling all week. Today,
Yeah.
when he was running, he was making sure he's running a little straight.
Yeah. Look,
Wants to play, man. It's killing him.
Hey, I love it.
Yeah, I love it too.
I'm going to tell you, though, if in my opinion, if they're going to have any success, they've got to move him. He has no chance in the pocket,
No.
at least right now. There goes 5.
He gets free across the 40, 35, so on his feet.
Great run.
On the carry, number 5, Damari Williams. Stopped by AJ
And not the best. They're down there to around the
Guys,
the 27-yard line, but this is not the best field position they've been in all night.
looked like there was movement before that snap.
I thought it was too,
Yeah.
Jeff. You're right. I mean, they didn't look set to me. They shifted their tackle and their tight end. They basically had 2 tight ends on the top side.
And they double team.
Yeah, they double teamed on that. They kicked out and blocked down inside and ran almost like a little like a delay, almost like not a cross buck, but they handed across the back from the backside, and then he got through there. He's special. He's quick.
He is.
I believe Smoky Mountain called the timeout there.
They did. The quarterback called it right there when they got the big play. He turned around to the white hat and called it.
Is it looking like an unbalanced line? And they double team.
To that one, it was Lamont, because they, like I said, they've moved their tight end a couple of times. That time, 44 and 55 went to the other side to the top.
Yeah, and that's the third time in a row they ran to the right side.
Yeah, and then what they did was they ran that two-back set,
right,
and they crossed 5 over back to the right side.
Gotcha. Well, Smoky Mountain's found something. They're going to keep running until we stop it.
Yeah.
Doing the Macarena here at John Gamble Stadium tonight.
For the Mustangs as play resumes.
1st and 10 around the 27-yard line.
And we just got to watch him possibly doing a counter or anything back.
West back to throw again. Under pressure. He's got to get rid of it. He does find a receiver, but overthrown. Double coverage.
The intended receiver, Jay Stillwell. On the coverage, number 2, Zay Smith.
Didn't really run a lot of time off the clock.
2nd and 10.
I think he heard the footsteps. He knew he had to get rid of it. So the Mountaineers hold that play off. Hand the ball off. West hands it off once again right up the middle. He'll get around the line of scrimmage.
On the carry, Damari Williams. Timeout, Smoky Mountain.
So Smoky Mountain will take another timeout. And so will we. We'll be back here with more Mountaineer football. Stay with us right after this.
The Mountaineer football broadcast is sponsored by Dellinger's Jewel Shop, King Construction, Patriot Jacks Outfitters, Campers Inn RV of Kings Mountain, JWH Contracting, Allen & Sons Construction.
Back here at John Gamble Stadium. About a buck and 3 left to go in this first half. We just heard from one of our listeners. Kevin tells us that Hunter Turnow is the gentleman on bass guitar. And man, well, he also says he didn't get that from me. I didn't read that far down. I'm sorry about that, Kevin.
Yeah, he's going to look for number 5. See if he have enough time to throw it.
Oh, and he gets hit in the backfield. Waited way too long to throw it.
Yeah, that's on the quarterback.
Yeah, and that was a coverage sack too. I mean, we had good coverage. He had nowhere to go. I thought that he would have pulled it down and tried to run. Oh, so they did put Curtis in there.
Maybe they didn't put him in. Maybe he just went in there anyway.
He probably.
4th and 24 for Smoky Mountain.
He's going to let the clock run down and then call timeout.
Right.
While we do, I give a quick shout out to Brian and Jennifer Pennington. They're up in Silva, actually, watching us up there where Smoky Mountain came from. Good to see and hear you guys were there.
Timeout.
Also
Smoky
need to give a
Mountain.
shout
That
out
is their final timeout
from way
of
up
the
in
first
Durham, Dave Buckley. Dave Buckley is 75 today. Thank you for watching, Dave. We're watching with Jeff Lloyd, Coach Lloyd's brother, and their crew up in Durham. Glad to see. And, Jeff, I'm glad you didn't have to call and give me any scores because I was off last week.
Speaking of that, any updates on our
Yes,
Farm
sir.
Bureau 133 West Caldwell Banker just-in-time plumbing scoreboard?
Scoreboard update. Let's get it right quick. We've got High Brighton is down 28-7 to West Charlotte. AC Reynolds and Chambers in the third quarter are 16-14 Chambers. Boy, this is a shootout. West Rowan 28, West Henderson 29 in the second quarter.
Wow.
Drawn is up 20-3 over Mitchell. Butler's up 13-7 over Mooresville. Mallard Creek is down 10-6 to Huff, and Maiden is up 14-0 over Mount Pleasant.
That Mallard Creek, I think they beat Huff
earlier
this season.
Yes, I believe you're right.
So they're going. Of course, they're going to go for it. They have nothing to lose.
Why not?
Yeah, we just got to. You can't give up nothing big.
West, empty backfield, tries to find time to score. He throws the long ball, intercepted by Kings Mountain, and they'll run it out of the end zone. He's still on his feet across the 10. Makes a move. 15, dances a little bit more, 20, 25, 30. And they'll bring him down, and the clock will run dead, and that'll take us to halftime. Well, what a way to end that game, and flag on the play.
Listen, if he throws that on us, he needs to throw it on 77.
Right.
Because I watched that play, and if he better call both, because 77, when he tackled our guy, shoved him into the ground.
Right.
Like he pushed off on him hard.
Right.
And then they were jawing. I don't know what they were saying.
Right.
And then he threw the ball back at him. So at the minimum, that needs to be on both. But
so who was it? Was it against Zay?
Zay, yeah. When he tackled Zay up here about the 35,
right.
He shoved him like on his pads really bad when he got up.
Right.
Personal foul against Kings Mountain, and that's it. Unsportsmanlike.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous. That's terrible.
Yeah, even you can hear it from our
That's
our
terrible.
fans.
That's terrible
Yeah.
because 77,
Right.
I was watching it, 77 rammed him into the turf after he tackled him.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous.
Well, that'll end the first half. We'll take a break. We'll be back here for halftime. Stay tuned for the halftime show, the entire Steve Baker interview, so don't go anywhere. We'll be right back after this.
That's the end of the first.
The Mountaineer football broadcast is sponsored by Brinkley Financial Group, Flooring America, Dr. Brad Moffitt and Carolina Chiropractic, Butler's Outdoor Design, The Venue at Turkey Ridge, Welcome to the KMHS Sports and Kings Mountain Touchdown Club Halftime Show with your host, Jay Rhodes. The halftime show is sponsored by Ben Engel and On Q Financial, Butler Tire and Auto, Audio Video Designs, KM Elite,
Good evening, Mountaineer fans. It's the halftime show. Drew Fulton along with Steve Baker. And if you don't know Steve, you should. Steve is a longtime resident of Kings Mountain, former teacher, coach, and a former athlete here at Kings Mountain High School, 61 to 64, I believe you played. First of all, I heard a story. Let's start out with that. 63. We're tied with Shelby 7-7.
No, they had taken the lead 7-0.
7-0. Okay. And then you run 86 yards.
About 87, 86, 87. Who could care then?
Yeah.
It's a long way.
Tell me about that game. I mean, was it here or was it Shelby?
No, it was here in Kings Mountain. What I do remember, Drew, is pretty much everything shut down that day at 3 o'clock in Kings Mountain. Because playing in the old city stadium, it wasn't a large stadium, but both teams went into the game undefeated. And as you might imagine, a lot revolved around Kings Mountain football in the 60s, 50s and 60s. And it was a game of anticipation. We were all looking forward to it. It could not accommodate, the stadium could not accommodate all the people that wanted to come. So we laugh, like some of my friends and I still laugh. There used to be a tree behind one of the goalposts in the stadium closest to Highway 74. And that tree was full of people. But there were people were everywhere. In the graveyard behind, there were people lined on the fence up there because you could see down into the stadium. And I remember they took the opening kickoff and methodically moved the ball down the field and kicked the extra point, 7-0. And I think the expectation was, here goes Shelby on one of those vaunted, 3 touchdown wins. Yeah. And the guy kicked the football off. I never forget it. Was not a good kickoff, but it bounced really high. So I waited under the ball, and as I will take this to my grave. All I had to do, Drew, was run. I didn't have to make any moves. Jimmy Medlin, Jimmy Owens, it was like the Red Sea parted. And I just ran straight up the field. And I'll always remember the eyes of the Shelby safety, who went on to become a Shrine Bowl player, Charles Peeler. I'll never forget the look in his eye. When I broke free, I looked at him thinking he's going to make a play or try to make a play. Yeah. He just was frozen. And I went untouched, down the field. And Hubert McGinnis kicks the extra point, and we play the rest of the game 7-7. It was the first official overtime game in recorded North Carolina history. Nobody knew how, nobody was really comfortable what the rules were going to be. Okay. And it was almost like they were making them up as they went along. But, instead of the game being tied and over 7-7, the referees said, no, everybody stay. We got to play more minutes. So we played with what we understood to be the first overtime game. Unlike today, though, the game went down in the books as a tie. So we were 9-0-1 that year, but because we lost the overtime to Shelby, they got to go on and play further into the playoffs.
I got you.
And matter of fact, that was the year President Kennedy was assassinated. And taking this way back, yeah. Drew.
Well, the 63-64 team, I mean, if you know anything about Kings Mountain football, that is a who's who, I have to look at my list. Of course, you mentioned Hubert McGinnis, Pat Murphy, George Plunk, John Van Dyke, yourself. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's just like an all-star team.
Well, it was an excellent team. Many of them went on to play college football. Pat, if I had to say we had a star of stars on our team, it was Pat Murphy, who, if he was playing in today's game, where there's such a free movement of the ball passing-wise, mm-hmm. he would have passed for a couple of miles, probably. I mean, it was unbelievable what he could do. But we were playing old-school football where you ran first and passed second. But I think we knew that if we were going to go where we wanted to go that year, because we finished the regular season undefeated, 10-0. We knew if we were going to go where we wanted to go, it was going to have to be on his arm. So we really redesigned our offense the last 3 games of the year. We turned it into a pro offense with split receivers. Matter of fact, I was the primary running back through the first 7.5 games. The last 2 games, I became a flanker. We split the backfield like a pro set, and nobody really knew how to cover us until Hickory came along. And they did an excellent job of covering us, and we lost that game. But went through the regular season 10-0. But you mentioned Hubert McGinnis, Jimmy Cloninger, Lynn Cheshire, George Plunk, Steve Grigg, Glenn Boland, Richie White. Without them, whatever success I had running the ball was attributed to them. I mean, they were just phenomenally gifted linemen. And all I had to do was keep my head up and run to the right place.
Well, let me ask you, the 61-62 season, from what I looked at, not so great seasons.
No, had
what
good
was
people.
The difference between those 2 seasons and then 63 and 64 come along?
Well, we had good players. And I've often given Jimmy Medlin a lot of credit because I think you always have to have strong leadership and a coach on the field type of player. And I remember we didn't necessarily have that person step up in 61 or 2, but when the 63 season came along, it was clear that Jim Medlin had a mission. And his mission was to be our leader and and coach on the field. And, we had excellent coaches. Those coaches also coached in the earlier years, but it was almost a perfect storm of great leadership from the coaching standpoint and young men on the field who were willing to be vocal leaders and also leaders by example. And I think when you put that together with good talent, that meant for 2 years where we didn't lose a game in the regular season.
Well, I was going to ask you about Coach Bill Bates.
Yes.
Was 61 his first year? I know he was assistant
62 football season was his first season as head coach.
Okay.
Coach Gamble sadly had Lou Gehrig's disease. Yeah. And while he was able to function somewhat in 61, he had a succession plan. And it was to be Coach Bates would follow him and would become the head coach in 62. And
well, tell me about Bill Bates. I mean, we're here in the Bill Bates
absolutely
field house.
Oh, yes. Well, first of all, the first thing you can say about Bill Bates, he was a man of faith. He was a man, I lived over in the East School District of Kings Mountain in those days on Monroe Drive. 2 houses from me was Bill Bates. Across the street was Coach Gamble. A block away was Coach Fred Withers. And across 3.5 blocks across the way was Coach Don Parker. And other than Coach Cashin, who lived out on the York Road, all of them lived within an earshot of my house. And they got to observe us, but we also got to observe them. Young men look for men of character and men of integrity and men of faith to guide them. It's easy to follow men like that. And Bill Bates absolutely was the epitome of that. I'll never forget this, Drew. We have a scholarship at Gardner-Webb in Coach Bates' honor. And in 2005, we had a great salute to Bill Bates dinner at the Patrick Center. And at that meeting, we seated the first $5,000 of the scholarship as a result of the people that attended that evening. So when we asked Coach Bates to come up with some words, you got to remember, we had the president of Gardner-Webb there, the athletic director, a lot of dignitaries from the Cleveland County community there. The first thing Bill Bates said, he said, "It's my hope that you people here tonight know Jesus Christ as your Lord and Savior." That's the way he accepted with humility that honor for him tonight. That's the kind of man he was. So it was easy to follow Coach Bates. I had the privilege also of coaching in 69 through his last year in 71. I was an assistant coach with Coach Bates, Bo Goforth, Tommy Pruitt, Bill Cash, and myself. And there were others, but if you look into the program in those days, there were 5 of us, not 17 coaches, but 5 of us. And I worked with a freshman team most of the year. I wasn't a permanent varsity assistant. So they had 4 permanent assistants. Bo, Tommy Pruitt, Bill Cash, and Bill Bates, and did a good job. But he was a man of great faith and great character.
You leave Kings Mountain. Did you go to Gardner-Webb? Is that where you went?
No, it was funny. I was recruited somewhat out of high school to go on to play college football. Most notably, Western Carolina was the most visible team that recruited me. I started my senior year, Drew, at 16 years old. And that doesn't mean anything now. 16-year-old kids are doing great things. Yeah. But in that era, it was almost like you had to wait your turn. So I was a young senior. And I started the season as a primary ball carrier on the team and had some success. So as the year went on, though, I realized, you know what, I don't think I want to play anymore after high school. And I didn't know how to tell Western Carolina that. Yeah. But I had some success, but I decided the best thing for me was not to play anymore, and I wanted to go to a college that would not tempt me to play anymore. So I ended up at Pfeiffer University, had no football. Great soccer, great tennis, great baseball, mediocre basketball. Yeah. But I was not tempted to play, so it ended up being a good decision for me, but I didn't choose to go on. Like my friends, Pat and Hubert, had great college playing careers, And if you were to go to Lenore Ryan or Appalachian, you would see their names prominently displayed as former greats at those universities and colleges. But in my case, I was ready to move on and do something else.
Well, you come back to Kings Mountain and you become a teacher.
Yes, sir.
And that's where I remember you from.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think you knew me when I was born.
I absolutely do.
When my dad taught here.
Oh, yeah, absolutely, yes.
Brick masonry.
Yes.
Tell me about, and I can't think the name about it, the character that you used to portray.
The character?
That there was a character.
Yes, I can talk about Steve Slick.
Steve Slick, okay.
Well, yeah, that, I've always been a frustrated actor, and singer. And, I love young people. Most of us that taught then loved the students. I think they could see it. So I'll never forget, in the 70s, we were going to have a teacher-based talent show. And they asked me to be the MC. So I said, well, I don't want to walk out there as Steve Baker, button-down shirt and slacks. I'm going to create a character, Steve Slick. And then I had some hair, Drew, so I slicked my hair back with black horn-rimmed glasses. I rolled my pants up to show my white socks. And I just created this character that lived. I taught here 17 years, and Steve Slick appeared. You might have been in. When did you graduate?
I graduated in 91.
Oh, yeah, I was gone by then.
Well, I remember 89.
I came back. Yeah. Bruce Clark
beat
asked me to
Shelby.
go. Oh, absolutely. I had it tacked to my pants.
Yeah.
But no, Steve Slick showed up about 6 different times over the years in talent shows. And, it's funny, you're mentioning it in 2022, but as I was going through my teaching career, I had kids come up and say, my mom was here in 76 when you did Steve Slick. I said, yeah, I did. So they would come up and say, my mother told me, make sure I look you up and talk about what you're talking to me about, this character, Steve Slick. And we had a lot of fun in those days. Dean Westmoreland, God bless his soul, Bud Bumgardner, who was the Howard Cosell when we would do these shows. Bud Bumgardner was an outstanding Howard Cosell character. He had the perfect voice, and Muhammad Ali. So we would MC, or we would do the press box for the girls' powder puff game, and Bud and I were doing all these jokes from this press box. Him doing a Muhammad Ali and Howard Cosell, and I was doing some foolish character. But we tried to make it fun. We loved the young people. I hope they enjoyed the time we were here, and we certainly had a blast. Teaching school and being a coach here for those years I was here, I've been doing another career now for 36 years. That's the most fun I ever had working in my life, those 17, 18 years here, Kings Mountain.
Well, Steve, I appreciate you taking a little time to talk with us, and man, it's great to catch up with you.
Well, it's always a lot of fun, Drew, and what you're doing here, and the success that the program's had this year is we're all proud to look back and throughout the 100 years, as you know, we have the 100 years. To look back, I remember making a big deal. I played on the 40th anniversary team, and we had, and I coached when the 50th one came along, 50th anniversary team. But we had a number of players from the 1922 team be honored in 1962. Oh, really? They were still with us. Yeah, Fred Plunk, Jolie Woodward, and many others were part of the program. They would show up occasionally.
I actually have a relative, Tom Fulton, that was on that team.
Absolutely, Tom Fulton was on that team. Some of the Orman family, I want to think, but that's God bless them. They saw a desire to want to create football program here, and here we are 100 years later getting ready to celebrate 100 years.
Well, we knew we couldn't, especially with the Kings Mountain Touchdown Club, we knew we couldn't let this, year go by without making a big to-do about it.
And I appreciate everything that the Touchdown Club has done, continues to do, for the program here, for the young people. It's all about the young people. It's all about what can we do to further their advancement and doing the best they can as athletes and students and athletes. It should be that way around, shouldn't it? But the Touchdown Club has just been an invaluable asset to this community.
Well, Steve, thank you for being with us. I'm Drew Fulton. We've got more Mountaineer football coming up next, so stay with us.
Thank you, Drew.
The halftime show was brought to you by the following sponsors: Ben Engel and On Q Financial, Butler Tire and Auto, Audio Video Designs, KM Elite,
Back here at John Gamble Stadium, just getting rid of halftime, or getting done with halftime. Thank you, Steve Baker, for that interview. And I believe next week, if we're still playing next week, we'll have Jay Rhodes will be back hosting our halftime, and he'll have the famous Gary Stewart.
Okay.
So we'll look forward to that.
Also, I want to give a shout out to Coach Steve Degree. That's family right there.
That's Shelby man.
Yeah, he's
Shelby man.
He's a coach at Shelby. Been there for years, and so he just texted me and said he's listening, and want to give him a shout out. And again, just they ran into Burns last night, but just hate those guys. We got a lot of relationships there. Just hate those guys bowed out last week.
Hey, listen, I know Steve Degree's voice. I used to hear him on the radio every week after the game.
Definitely.
No, Steve's been involved with Shelby a long time. He's a great guy.
He is.
Two things I got to text. People want to know what that is out there on the field that's reflective. It's not leaves, or part of it. Some of it is leaves, and then some other things is some of the stuff that fell out when they were brushing the field.
Right.
So it's not trash. It's not water.
Right.
I also want to give a shout out to the Reicherts. Miss Julie Reichert, former principal here.
Oh, yeah.
I want to give her some love. And then Jay Reich and Wilson's wonderful. I was told to say Wilson's wonderful bride. So she married Wilson. So we'll have to wait and see.
Most
And
definitely.
I forgot her name in Claremont, North Carolina. We were just talking about it.
Samantha is Wilson's wife, by the way. And Georgia, good to hear from you. Kick off.
And that should go in the end zone. That was kicking off, after the personal foul penalty.
Right.
That we all argued with, but nevertheless, we lost that argument.
Right.
They really didn't even ask us about it.
They didn't. They don't care what we say. I also got to give one more shout out for the lovely Miss Janice Crocker in Grover, who's pulling for her favorite kicker, Jaden Ellis. She's a neighbor of the Ellises.
Wow.
And that's Michael's mom. Michael talks to us every week, makes us give Tommy Payne a hard time, but Miss Janice is watching and pulling for her kicker in the Mountaineers. Thank you, Miss Janice.
Little John hands it off right up the middle. He's trying to find a little bit of running room. He might have got a yard out of it. That's Jeffries on the carry.
On the stop, number 55, Jay Lacey. Gain of 2, 2nd and 8 for the Mountaineers.
So 2nd and 8. And I remembered to turn the quarter this time, guys. Thank you.
There you go.
Thank you very much.
Good job.
Always a big bonus.
We knew you can do it.
When you know what quarter the game's in. Trips receiver to the far side. He's looking to the near side, looking for Lloyd, and just
there's a
right
flag.
out of his fingertips.
Going to be holding.
Flag down on the field.
Holding on us. Because the umpire threw it. No, downfield. Oh, okay.
Oh, wow.
Must have got past him.
Ineligible receiver down the field is the call on the field.
So that'll get moved back. I thought it was a good play call, maybe just a little overthrown.
Right.
Yeah.
Is that a play that they can decline?
Yes, they have.
I'm surprised they wouldn't, because that'd be 3rd and 8.
Yeah, they have the right to decline the penalty. I would have declined.
2nd and
Me
13
too.
for the Mountaineers.
So 2nd and 13. Mountaineers come back out in that same 3-receiver set to the far side. Fakes the handoff. Little John has plenty of time to throw. Throws it deep. And flag on the play.
He's throwing it in the direction of where Bryson is.
Yeah. On the field.
But just overthrown passes.
I'm wondering if he's going to call Bryson on offensive pass interference unless Bryson got held.
Right.
Because I was watching the ball, so I'm not sure.
Yeah, they're looking to their sideline.
And even if it was completed, it would have came back, but I'm not sure. What did like was a pick?
Yeah, it was on us. They declined that one. I think they did. Yeah, I saw one laying on the turf right about the 32, so I think that Bryson knocked him down. They declined that one, so it'll be third down.
Pass interference declined against the Mountaineers.
Declined. It'll be third down and 13 for the Mountaineers.
So 3rd and 13. Mountaineers still looking for something positive to start this second half off with.
Going empty.
Come out in a spread offense. Little John rolls to his left, looks back to his right, finds a man right over the middle. That's a first down and then some to the 45. That's your favorite, Fat, with a big catch.
McNeely. First and 10 for the Mountaineers. Ball at the 44-yard line.
New set of sticks. Hands the ball off left side. Number 21.
Teddy Jeffries on the
carry. Good 5-yard gain.
Number 7, Jesse
I know
Jones.
number 55 is going to have nightmares about Isaiah tonight.
And that's like the third time I've seen his shoulder pads coming out of his jersey.
Second down.
Don't feel bad, young man.
I'm telling you.
Isaiah's done that to a lot of people this season.
Yeah.
That's a tall order to block 64 or to get around 64. Isaiah's a man.
That he is.
Definitely a senior we'll miss after this season. Hand the ball off left side. A pretty good size hole to run through. He'll be first down to inside of about a 7-yard carry.
You know what hole he ran through? Isaiah's hole.
Exactly.
55's going out. Bless his heart. He's trying.
From the 44-yard line.
Is there a bless your heart pride sticker?
I think so.
We could give him.
We need to. I think his jersey's been stretched. He's trying. Because Isaiah's that good.
Twins to the top side. Well, John fakes the handoff. There's a little screen out.
Good play by 5.
To
Jake Lloyd.
On the stop,
but
5,
not really any gain.
No.
Williams.
I didn't like that play as it started.
They'll give him a yard after it.
A gain of a yard. 2nd and 9.
Mountaineers have done a pretty good job of using some of this clock up in the third quarter. Student body left.
Teddy Jeffries on the carry.
Teddy Jeffries. One of the few opportune times that they are able to stop him after a big gain.
Right.
Or stop him from having one. We'll call it 3rd and 7.
3rd and 6 for the Mountaineers.
I guess Jay disagreed with you.
It's all right.
He normally influences Jay.
he normally does.
Trying to get him to jump off
Got
sides.
him.
And Cleveland got him.
That defensive end up top broke the plane.
Yeah.
That'll be 3rd and 2.
Offside.
or 3rd and
Against the
1,
Mustangs,
depending
5-yard
on.
penalty.
Jeff, not that it matters, but
Bring up 3rd
do they have
and
stickers
1
on their helmets, or is their
for the
paint knocked
Mountaineers.
off? That's driving me crazy. Like 29 up there on
I
the
think
end.
it's paint knocked off.
Yeah, you can see especially number of the linemen. The
Yeah.
front part almost looks white.
Yeah.
It's from, I guess, lead blocking with their helmet.
Yeah, and they also that means they got their helmets painted, but whoever they sent to get it done did a
Right.
terrible job.
Bunch formation, handoff right side. That's a first down, and then a couple extra.
Yeah, I'm thoroughly impressed with number 5.
He's a player.
I see why he has a offer from
On the
App.
carry, and that's
He
enough for
is a
another
stud.
Mountaineer.
He hadn't come off the field really any at all.
1st and 10
I
from
don't
the
blame him. I wouldn't take him
30-yard
off
line.
either.
On the stop, number 5, Damari Williams.
And he's just a junior.
Coming in this game, he has 13 touchdowns. Little John back to pass, throwing it deep again towards the end zone. Good coverage,
Nice.
good play.
Way to go
And
up
he
and
caught
get
it
it.
Play.
all the way down to the 1 yard line.
Sanders on the reception.
Well, Lamont, we can't overthrow them all, can we?
Can't overthrow them all, brother. But that was a good ball placement. He went up and got it.
I believe that's what they call a head topper.
Yep,
And it was good coverage. I
Oh,
mean,
yeah,
you
most
couldn't
definitely.
ask for any better coverage.
most definitely.
Jeff, are you not seeing all the guys on the sideline doing that?
Yes,
They
I
hit the
was
top of-
doing it. Do you see
Yeah,
me doing
yeah,
it?
Yeah.
I've seen my son do that so much.
To the right side. Does he cross the goal line?
He did right there.
He's in
Second
And he
effort.
does.
He did it first, but the second effort got him in.
Kenny Jeffries. Jaden Ellison to attempt the point after touchdown. Out of the hole with Bryson Brown.
So the extra point. The snap.
There we go.
Ball's up.
The kick is up.
And he's 100% tonight. The Mountaineers will tack on one more, 35-0. Mountaineers lead. We'll be back here at John Gamble Stadium. Stay with us right after this.
The Mountaineer football broadcast is sponsored by Brinkley Financial Group, Flooring America, Dr. Brad Moffitt and Carolina Chiropractic, Butler's Outdoor Design, The Venue at Turkey Ridge,
Back here at John Gamble Stadium, we're talking about crashing the party at the First Wesleyan Gold.
East Gold Wesleyan.
Fifth quarter
Fifth
tonight.
quarter.
You in?
Yes, sir.
Let's just go. Jeff, you with us?
They got snacks.
Where's the back table?
We've already hooked ourselves up with Mr. Nance, so for next week. So I mean, we're trying whatever we can get.
Jaden Ellis tees the ball up, and then he's is this the 5th kickoff?
Yes,
6th
sir.
tonight?
6th tonight, because of 5 touchdowns and then the opening kickoff.
Fellas, if we can stop and hear one more score, we have a run the clock.
Yes.
So we'll be fielded across the 30, around the 32-yard line. They'll take over 1st and 10 from there. You know, the Mountaineers done a good job. Kind of, we have bent a few times, but we have never broke.
No.
You know, they were deep several times in their own red zone, and we were able to stop them.
And you got-
Two interceptions.
Yeah, and, my thing is you got to give credit to Smoky Mountain. They have some great athletes. The quarterback is a stud. Number 5 is most definitely a stud. And, they had a big long pass, and he had some good runs. But when we needed to stand, we did. And when we needed to make a stand, that is, we did.
Hand the ball off, trying to find some running room. They'll stop him right there at the line of scrimmage. A host of Mountaineers.
Well, you got to know after the plays in the second quarter where they featured 5 in the backfield that that was going to be a point of emphasis.
What I love about Coach Wilson and Coach Kennedy and Coach Brown, that defensive side, other coaches, they know how to make the right adjustments at halftime, especially if we getting gashed in the first half by a certain play.
Well, the thing too, man, we talked in the at the beginning of the game, the goal was to keep 10 off the field.
Right.
And we've done that.
Fires out real quick. It is caught. He might have gotten 2 yards out of it.
On the coverage, number 10, Bryson Brown.
Very short gain.
3rd and 9.
So good third down play.
Yeah, this would be big to get them off the field, and I think you put more and more doubt in their minds. And they scored how much against Central Davidson?
The final score was 41-38.
Wow.
3rd and 9.
Or 42-38, one or the other. Regardless, it was a lot of points.
Rush is on. They bring it over to the left side. They're going to get stopped at the line of scrimmage. No gain.
Not real sure about that call.
Yeah, that's the same call that was gashings with second quarter.
It wasn't there,
and that's the adjustments that's made by
Student body right.
Coach Wilson and his defensive staff.
Matt Brown, number 44.
I've noticed that Rob has not been playing that much either.
No,
he's not that healthy, and why risk this?
Well, I agree with you. I saw him after we scored that touchdown cheering, and I was thinking the same exact thing.
Right.
If we can get out of the game without having to use the 2 of them, then we're good.
Mountaineers go after it. It's kind of a low punt, but a long one.
Get in the end zone. Get in the end
Yeah,
zone.
he's going to go all the end zone.
Smart.
Fats just mad he doesn't get a chance to return that one, but Mountaineers will take over 1st and 10 from their own 20-yard line.
That speaks of his maturity.
Yeah,
because early on in the season he would try to chase that down, pick it up, and run it. So
and
that's growth.
That was a great punt by
it was
by the punter.
Tonight's contest. That's the 5th quarter tonight at East Gold Wesleyan following tonight's football contest.
Next time we get a little break in the action, we'll check in with Farm Bureau, 133 West, Caldwell Banker, Just in Time Plumbing scoreboard. Smoky Mountain from the Mountain West 3A Conference. Good teams there. Pisgah, Tuscola, a lot of historical teams there. Right up the middle, he's got some running room, misses 1 or 2 tackles. They'll bring him down around the 25.
You always cringe when he slammed to the ground in that head.
I thought the same thing, Lamont.
Yeah, you always cringe because you know concussions and that type of thing. Glad he's able to pop back up.
Antonio Armstrong runs in. Zay Smith comes out. Thank you, Mike Gann, for his camera work tonight up top in the wet conditions. Hand off left side to Teddy Jeffries. Across the 30.
That's Caleb.
Is that Caleb? All the way to the 40-yard line. Hard to stop tonight. Flag on the play.
Probably a hold or maybe a face mask in that vicinity where he would throw that.
That's what I'm thinking, too, because it was downfield, right?
Yeah.
Possibly a face mask. Yeah, okay, good. Dude.
It's a face mask against Smoky Mountain.
Guys, did you hear the block
I did.
Alex Jackson made?
Yeah. Tell we have beast up front. I mean, that offensive line is elite. And they don't get a lot of credit, y'all. But
no, they don't.
Those guys in the trenches, they mean a lot.
Snap, crackle, pop.
4:20 remaining in the 3rd quarter. 35-0 Mountaineers.
Thank you, Jay, since we can't see the scoreboard.
Little John gets the play from the sidelines. 3 receiver set, 2 receiver set, fullback field. Hands the ball off left side. Mountaineers trying to get some running room around the left side. 50, 45,
keep
40.
going.
Good stiff arm.
35. Right. And Teddy Jeffries will get run out of bounds.
5-yard line, and that's another Mountaineer.
1st and 10.
I think if he didn't stutter step, he kept going, he would have gone. Or he, think when he stutter step, he gave them a little bit more momentum.
1st and 10, the ball's marked at the 33-yard line.
Or angle to really take him down.
And I believe at this point we've knocked some wind out of the defense.
Oh, yeah. I think when they had it down here in the red zone after that long pass and they threw an interception, I think that was part of it as well. And then at the end, when they didn't score, they threw another interception.
Yep.
1, 2, 3, 4. I always look for hands on their hips. There were 6 of them down there.
And you know, we'll run this. Well, we're going to call timeout. Yeah. What I was going to say to that point too, Lamont, is
Mountaineers. That's our first time out of the second half.
They've not had to do that this year. They've been in every game. Smoky Mountain is who I'm talking about. They've not been blown out in any game. They've not scored.
No.
So this is foreign to them. Yeah, so that's tough.
Yeah. Because they played everybody in their conference, the Tuscolas, the West Hendersons. They played them very tight and tough.
Yes.
The scoreboard update real quick from 133 West Farm Bureau, Caldwell Banker, Just In Time Plumbing. Anything worth notable?
Let me see. I had to scroll back down. It's still saying 28-7 West Charlotte. That's not changed. But hang on a minute. Let me click on it. Yeah, still saying 28-7. Sometimes you click on it.
It's still saying quarter 2. So
still, yeah.
They hadn't updated that.
They hadn't updated that one. You got Chambers and AC Reynolds. Chambers up 16-14 over AC Reynolds in the fourth quarter. West Rowan is laying it to West Henderson, 41-29.
Wow.
West Henderson is the number 2 seed in the West. Drawn is up 28-10 over Mitchell in the fourth quarter. Butler is up 27-7 over Mooresville in the third quarter. And Huff 13-6 over Mallard Creek. Maiden 20-0 over Mount Pleasant. That's the update.
And I heard South Point just scored again. Little John trying to make something out of nothing, just kind of a low snap.
I'd rather he just fell on the snap.
Yeah.
Protect him. Live to play another play.
Right.
A loss on the play of 3 yards. It'll be 2nd down and 13 for the Mountaineers.
Have a shout out from Chief Jeff Leffert. He's down in Bowie's Creek.
Down there with his family.
With his family, his daughter, and they have a big game tomorrow against Gardner Webb. And bittersweet, Jeff has announced that he will be retiring.
I thought maybe he was out somewhere looking for a vacation home.
Yeah, I did too.
I know, right?
Making all that money.
But I'm telling you, he's really been a jewel for those of us in the city of Shelby, and I know here in Kings Mountain as well. So
Teddy Jeffries looking for a where to run and just know where to go, bring up 3rd down.
Listen, we all know that win, and the key word is win. When the Ledfords buy that vacation home, it'll be off Kendra's salary. Right. Kendra's the one that runs the family. We all know.
3rd down.
But we do love Chief Leffert. I was glad to see that he made it to retirement, Jeff.
Oh, yeah.
We love you.
Congratulations,
for making it there, brother.
You know, it's so good when you realize that you got a next chapter in your life.
Absolutely.
Maybe he can retire and become like police chief of Grover or something.
That
would be retirement, wouldn't it?
That would be, I think.
Oak Grove police chief. Little John looking deep. He's going to scramble, try to get something out of it. He'll get back to the original line of scrimmage, and that's about it. Bring up a 4th down. Good coverage downfield for Smoky Mountain.
And I like what Lamont did there, too. I mean, don't force it.
Right.
I mean, you don't need to.
Right.
I mean, don't hurt your own stats.
You don't have to. And he got positive yards, got it back, 4th and 10.
That's manageable.
Oh, yeah. So that's growth for him, too, because, you know, so many times you want to make something happen 35-0. You want to make some big play.
Yeah.
Be smart.
Little John drops back, 3-step drop, looks right over the middle, and that's going to be touchdown. Holland right over the middle.
That's a big ask for that linebacker. That's a great call by Coach Lloyd. He saw that mismatch. He can't cover. That linebacker can't cover that running back.
No, not at all.
That's what he's assigned to, but he just can't do it.
Mountaineers have put another nail in the coffin, so to speak.
What Chief say?
Chief said he's going to be your driver. That's his next chapter.
Okay. I can't afford him.
Driving Miss Daisy, right?
That's about right.
Kicks up. And it's good. Mountaineers 42-0 over the Smoky Mountain Mustangs. We'll take a break. We'll be right back after this.
All right,
The Mountaineer football broadcast is sponsored by Dellinger's Jewel Shop, King Construction, Patriot Jacks Outfitters, Campers Inn RV of Kings Mountain, JWH Contracting, Allen & Sons Construction.
Back here, Mountaineers lead 42-0. If we learned anything, this should be where they go ahead and start running the clock, hopefully.
Yeah.
Maybe get out of here a few minutes early. 1:01 left to go here in the third quarter. Mountaineers lead pretty good size right now.
Yeah.
Jaden Ellis set to kick it off.
Lamont's been pretty accurate tonight. You know, comes in the game 70%.
Yeah, I think it started. I guess wind and conditions just started a little rock. I think all of us, team started a little sluggish. But again, you got to have games like this. It's called adversity, and you got to learn how to play when things are not going your way.
Well, the one thing I've really enjoyed about Lamont is this year, especially his short memory.
Oh yeah, most definitely. That's huge. You have to have that as a quarterback.
You know, I've watched him throw an interception and come back, and make the next three passes.
Exactly.
And I mean, like nothing ever happened.
You got to have that because you got to also understand that everybody's looking at you as the quarterback, as the leader. So your head got to always stay up continuously. And it's hard, man. The QB position is tough. You do well, everybody loves you. You do wrong, get him out of there.
Get that right.
It's tough, man.
It's one of those like specialist positions.
Yeah,
that
most definitely.
You watch that every time. You watch the quarterback, you watch the center, long
handoff right up to the left side. He'll get maybe 2 yards. Clock will continue to run, so that should end the third quarter.
Right.
On the carry, Sawyer Snotter.
And I wouldn't be surprised if they start pulling out the starters too. Stay healthy, get to the third round.
And the clock will run
And that'll
dead.
be the final play of the third quarter. With your score, Kings Mountain 42.
Score stream has got West Charlotte beating High Brighton 56-7.
Wow.
The final.
Okay.
But I was going to say too.
What you gonna say, Craig?
I was going to say too that they've got the West Henderson Rowan. West Henderson 41, West Rowan 35. That's not what's on Max Press.
Oh wow.
I'm gonna let the fight song play and we'll talk about it.
Right.
Yes, so I looked at it on the box score. The score on the front is wrong. West Henderson is actually winning 41-35 over West Rowan.
They're actually winning what?
41? They're winning 41-35.
Gotcha.
So what's on score stream is right. Max Preps, when I clicked on the box score, they have it right there.
Pass complete to Damari Williams. On the stop, number 17.
That's number 5, Damari Williams, on a completed pass, first down. You talked about him earlier. 13 touchdowns coming in this game, 55 catches, 943 yards.
Right. I think we got backups in there now. So
first and 10.
Hopefully we can keep him from getting that 1,000-yard mark.
Right.
Quick handoff.
Well, he had that long catch in the first half. He may be nearing that number already.
Right.
Stop by number 16, Xavier Wilson. A gain of 3, 2nd and 7 for the Mustangs.
comes out for receiver set. Mountaineers rush 4, trying to get to the quarterback, and they do right behind the 50-yard line.
For a loss by number 44, Thomas Fair.
Good
Thomas
job, Thomas.
Fair off the quarterback sack.
3rd down and 12 after the loss.
Same formation for Smoky Mountain. West calls the signals, drops back quickly to pass, but decides to run it himself. They're able to pull him down after about a 1-yard gain. Bring up 4th down. Well, more than a 1-yard gain, about 4 yards. About 4th and 8.
On the stop, Darian Black.
Darian Black on the stop for the Mountaineers. We don't get to call that name very often.
4th and 8 for the Mustangs.
Glad to see these guys getting some time, as they did last week as well. It's a big stop here. Let's see if we can get it.
West drops back to pass. He's under pressure, just tries to throw the ball away.
Good job. Good job.
Pass incomplete.
That's number 31.
Tyler McIntyre,
Wow.
sophomore.
Snyder.
I was going to say, too,
First down,
the defensive
Mountaineers.
end on this side,
Yeah.
we'd put him in William Bond. He came in this
Yeah.
year from
Yeah.
Texas.
And he's a stud.
He's
too.
going to be a great player.
He is. He's a stud. Had a great JV season.
Yeah.
So,
1st and 10, Mountaineers take over at the 47-yard
1st
line.
and 10 from the 47-yard line
Majority
for
of
the
us-
Mountaineers.
majority of our starters off. I see our backup quarterback, JV quarterback, TJ Armstrong. Had an excellent season this year on JV.
Micah running the ball.
Yeah.
Michael Ward, the ball carrier. Good 5-yard gain.
On the carry, Michael Ward. On the stop, number 52, Mabry Bumgardner.
I mean, how good does that make
A
you
gain of
feel
5,
that the
2nd
backups
and
come
5
in
for
and you
the
still
Mountaineers.
get
Oh, yeah.
5 yards?
Feels
Most
great.
definitely. Most
Click.
definitely.
Because, like I said in the pregame, if you have success with them, you may have to use them some,
Most definitely.
and that gives them success on the field.
Handoff left side. That's Ward again, trying to find a hole to run through.
Yep.
He'll get close to a
Michael
1st
Ward
down.
carried
Flag
the
on the
flag
play.
down on the field.
There might be a space mask as well. And you remember Micah had to carry the rock, the toe, the
Face
load
mask
last year.
against
Yeah.
When we was truly running back by committee. Everybody
on the
was getting
stop,
hurt.
number 58, Asa Bird. After the penalty, it's
Penalty
enough for
on
another
face
Mountaineer.
mask against Smoky Mountain, so Kings Mountain will get a big 15 yards. That must have been a
1st
good
and 10
face
from
mask.
the 29-yard
Yeah, it
line.
was.
Seven minutes and counting left here at John Gamble. Round number 2, the state 3A playoffs. Handoff left side.
Got Josiah Hill.
Going to get close to
Josiah
the
Hill on the
26-yard
carry.
line.
Stopped by Jesse Jones.
Great block out there by Tyler Furman, 22.
Yeah.
Another young guy playing, really got after it.
Yeah.
Like to see those young guys playing hard
A
like
gain
that, like
of
we've been
4,
saying.
2nd down
He had a
and
great
6 for the
year as
Mountaineers.
well on JV. We have a bright future.
Hill on the carry.
Mike Sis
On
sent
the
us
stop,
a
Jay Lacey.
update. West Charlotte
gain of a yard.
into that game 56-7.
Yeah.
3rd and 5.
Thank you, Mike. The legend. Thought about fumbled there.
Yeah.
On the carry, Michael Ward. It'll bring
Michael
up 4th
Ward
down.
again. Back him up another yard or
On
two,
the
so
stop,
4th and
number
about
70.
8.
He bobbled that.
Yeah, I thought
before
so.
Before he handed it off.
Hey, Jeff, are they sending in a dry ball every time?
Almost every play.
Okay, good.
I noticed on the sideline they had them they keeping them in a bag.
They
and
did.
also
They
in a cooler.
kept them in a cooler before even the game started. They didn't get them out.
Good. They've done a great job tonight as well. All our ball boys.
That's where I was putting my drinks earlier.
My son's one of them.
Oh, that's what's up.
False start.
I saw that. It's number
Flags down.
50.
New guy came in, right?
59. Yeah.
Drew, is that where you were keeping your sun drop?
It was.
You know that young Drew Fulton for that '89 team. He'd have done a good job keeping those balls dry.
You bet I would have.
Yes, sir.
Team manager.
I fixed helmets, pumped up balls. I was in charge of a lot of stuff. Michael Ward, the ball carrier, he'll get a few out of it. They'll turn it over on downs.
Hey, guys, I've been asked to make mention of the basketball program. They have 3 games tomorrow.
Right.
I believe they're all at Cox Mill, 11:30 versus Butler, 3:40 versus Independence, 5:20 versus Corvian.
And I think the women, the lady Mountaineers, they are playing as well tomorrow.
The same location?
And I think they're at Freedom.
Okay, at Freedom.
Yeah. I think they'll be at the middle school and
Those kind of preseason kind of almost like we do our jamborees.
Yeah, that's what it is.
A little over 1,500 of you on the line with us live. Thank you so very much for tuning in to Mountaineer Football. Give a shout out real quick to Chris Leitner watching us from Columbia, South Carolina. Steve Leitner in Nashville, Tennessee.
Look at there.
Oak Island.
Xavier Wilson on the stop.
Thomas Bridges is watching from Fayetteville.
That was a big hit.
Yes, it was.
Lincoln County is represented tonight. We thank you so very much for watching us tonight. We know some of you didn't want to bear the weather, even though it turned out to be a pretty good evening for us. We're glad that you could be online with us and watch the Mountaineers keep rolling through the second round of the playoffs.
Offside against the Mountaineers, 5-yard penalty. 2nd down and 5.
I'll take this time to do a shameless plug for Mountaineer Football Tonight. Coach's show Monday night usually airs about 6 p.m. If you can't tune in live, be sure to follow back up on this channel. Check us out this week. Do an interview with Coach Lloyd.
Jonathan Bunden watching from his couch.
Says he's trying to get his voice back. I was going to say, we got an update from Mike Sisk. Everybody knows Mike Sisk single-handedly carries the choir at First Baptist.
Jay Bunn.
John Bunn, the legend.
Yes, sir.
1st and 10 from their own
Snap,
38-yard
crackle, pop.
line.
Was that what that was supposed to do?
He's a big fan of the Thundercats. It's going to
Yeah,
be just a
that's
little
what
bit big fan.
Thundercats, ho.
West once again fakes the throw, tries to scramble to the left, get a receiver way downfield. He's got good coverage.
Oh, wow.
No flags.
Great
Ball
defensive
incomplete.
West pass incomplete.
Great defensive coverage by those DBs. Great job, young man. I think the second group, they want to shut out just as bad as everybody else.
Absolutely, because they're all part of the same group,
They are.
So they want to do it. They want to hold it for the guys that earned it to this point.
And I think there's been a couple
2nd and
games
10.
this year that hasn't happened.
Yeah,
I think that
and
it's
one
the pride
game,
right here.
one game was that Forest View game, if you remember.
Mm-hmm.
Man in motion. West is going to call his own number, run right up the middle.
West on the carry.
He'll get a few out of it.
Brought down by number 41.
Bring up a 3rd down and about 5.
Odoms. And number 72, Adrian Barner. 3rd down and 4.
We have a final score in West Charlotte game.
West Charlotte 56-7 over High Brighton.
Wow.
So they'll be here next week.
Right.
I'm sure West Charlotte would like another crack at the Mountaineers after last year.
Yes, sir.
And
he made a
they're
catch.
Call it
Yeah,
catch right there.
I thought
Good
he got a
catch.
foot down. Yeah.
Yeah, good catch. He got a cramp, and our guys over there helping
Helping him.
What's up? That's good. That's good, Zay.
Zay was over here trying to stretch him out.
Yeah.
Good job, young man.
Good job, man. You don't want to see nobody get hurt.
No.
32 seconds left.
Glad it's only a cramp.
Smoky Mountain, first down.
I think
Wow.
What happened?
Nothing. I'm good.
Okay.
so Tanner Gentry going to run off the field after getting some medical assistance by our first string offense. 32 seconds left. I'm guessing West will try to go to the end zone just to try to put some points on the board. 34-yard line.
34-yard line.
Depends on how quick. You're probably going to go try to do a long pass. This should be the last play of the game.
West fakes the first pass. He scrambles around looking for a receiver. He's just going to run it himself across the 20. They're going to bring him down before the end zone. Clock's still running. He's in bounds. So that should be it.
That's it.
Mountaineers will lead this game 42-0 over the Mustangs of Smoky Mountain. We're 2-0 against Smoky Mountain.
Yeah.
So that's always a good thing.
This one didn't take 5 overtimes.
It did not take 5 overtimes. We'll take a quick break. We'll be back and wrap this game up. Stay with us. Mountaineer football here on KMHS Sports, brought to you by the Kings Mountain Testo Club. Back after this.
The Mountaineer football broadcast is sponsored by Brinkley Financial Group, Flooring America, Dr. Brad Moffitt and Carolina Chiropractic, Butler's Outdoor Design, The Venue at Turkey Ridge, The Mountaineer football broadcast is sponsored by Dellinger's Jewel Shop, King Construction, Patriot Jacks Outfitters, Campers Inn RV of Kings Mountain, JWH Contracting, Allen & Sons Construction.
Back here at John Gamble Stadium, Mountaineers win 42-0 over the Smoky Mountain Mustangs. Guys, we'll make it short and sweet to wrap this game up. What you expected, what you didn't expect?
I thought it was possible if we played a complete game, but we took their will right off the bat. I mean, they had a pretty good opening drive, and we stopped them. I think we did what we're supposed to do. We're the number one seed. We've dominated this season. The guys were locked in and ready. They didn't let the weather bother them. They got in and got after it, and I'm happy.
And we got to understand, we're going to get everybody's best shot. We're number one.
Yeah.
And the bullseye is large on our chest.
What do you think, Drew? You ask us. What do you think?
Well, exactly what I hoped that we would be able to do is put some points on the board and keep points off their board. We played a good game. Let's listen to the Alma Mater and the Fight song. We enjoy this win tonight. Back here at John Gamble Stadium, getting ready to sign this game off. I mean, 42-0. We played a good game, offense, defense, special teams were good as well. We get ready to face the Lions of West Charlotte next week.
Yeah, it should be a good game. And like you said earlier, Drew, they're going to be after us because we knocked them out last year. So that's going to be a slobber knocker. We know they're going to be athletic, so we got to be ready.
What was it that the West Charlotte coach said right before that game?
He said something.
It was something, he wasn't worried too much about Kings Mountain.
Yeah, something about it be kind of easy or like just another game or something like that. We took their wheel when Jake Lloyd split the safeties and scored on like the first play of the game. So it's going to be tough. I mean, they hung 56 points on High Brighton tonight, and we know High Brighton's probably pretty good. So we're going to have a work cut out for us.
Well, there's no teams left in the playoffs that's not supposed to be here.
Correct.
Right.
So we'll have to bring our A game, come back Friday. Yeah. Don't forget the coaches show coming up Monday night around 6 o'clock. Sometimes we get started just a little bit early. We'll be back here Friday night. Did they come back?
Yeah, they did. I wanted to give a real quick update because just below us on that other game is West Henderson is up now 48-35 in the fourth quarter over West Rowan. So that means West Henderson plays
that Southeast Guilford.
Right. Yeah. Right. So that's who that'll be that game, and then that winner will get the winner of East Lincoln, Ledford, if I'm not mistaken.
Right.
And one of our coaches just the comment was we don't have to play our best to beat them.
That's
what they
it
said
was.
last.
Thank you.
Right.
Thank you. Yes.
That's what it was. Yeah.
So guys, we'll wrap it up here from Kings Mountain High School, John Gamble Stadium. We'll be back next Friday, 6:30. Kickoff 7:30. Looking at the weather forecast, it doesn't, it could change between now and then. I saw freezing rain and sleet.
Yeah.
So we'll just have to play that by ear and see what, it turned out.
It's football weather,
everybody
baby.
Called us crazy for playing on Friday tonight.
Yeah.
And, it's much better than it would have been last night.
Oh, yeah.
I think the shift, they didn't expect it to come in as early as it did last night, and it came in on Thursday and rained all day today. But it stopped raining right about, kickoff?
Yeah, it did. Yeah. And I was telling these guys off air, I mean, Coach Lloyd was watching this.
Yeah.
He started watching this Sunday.
Smart call.
And, he was doing everything in his power to play tonight. It worked out well for us. Right. And we're fortunate. We got out, and it looks like we got out virtually injury-free. Let's get ready for the West Charlotte Lions next Friday.
Right.
Guys, we'll see you. Have a great weekend for Drew Fulton, Jeff Johnson, Craig Short, Lamont Littlejohn, Mike and his crew up on the top, the Kings Mountain Touchdown Club, David and Marie Brinkley, all of our sponsors. Thank you so very much for tuning in tonight. We're glad that we could be part of your Friday evening. Have a great weekend. We'll see you next week.